Welcome to the Agnini Family Dental Countdown to Kickoff. I'm Tim Conti, along with me, Jeff Goddard. Welcome to round two. As Jimmy Fallon might say, hey, you made it. You're here. You're at the big show. Well, this isn't quite the big show yet, but it is round two. The competition gets tougher and stiffer, and a very accomplished program across from the Lakeland High School press box tonight in Plant. You've heard them and you've seen them over the past several years. They're one of those teams that perennially, or every year, get the word out, gets into the playoffs and has outstanding impact players, and everyone is saying that this is going to be a fun one. So we're glad that you're joining us, and we thank to Bright House for allowing us to do the webcast tonight. They had some rights to this game, and they were kind enough to say, hey, you guys, have been doing it all season, and I know there's some people that would like to see your webcast from around the globe too, not just locally, and they allowed us to do the broadcast, so big thanks to them tonight, Jeff.
And kudos to Michael Bear for getting that worked out. He worked tirelessly last night and this morning, getting that resolved with Bright House.
I thought I saw bags under his eyes or something there.
And apparently what happened is they were having some issues with their streaming capability, so they were not going to actually stream it. They made a decision today we're not going to stream the game tonight, and they're just going to do the game on TV. So they made an exception and allowed us to do it. So as you said, big thanks to Bright House, and thanks to them for allowing us to be in the air tonight.
Sometimes it just works out well.
That's right.
And obviously the Dreadnoughts having some success last week.
I think Michael sent Bob Parrish over to cut some cables at Bright House's head. No, I'm kidding.
I was kind of wondering how that happened just perfectly, but sometimes God just works it all out. But again, we're happy to be here tonight. A beautiful evening in mid-November here, and a special week.
A little bit cooler tonight, which is nice.
A little bit here, and I think we have some more on the way as we move into the next few days. But we do feel a nice little breeze tonight as that second cool front approaches. So I think a great night for football all in all, and a special week, obviously. Many folks are taking some time off and getting ready to have some great time with family coming up with the Thanksgiving holiday. And just a great time for football, and to still be in this thing is exciting here at Bryant Stadium.
And I know we'll talk more about Plant in the second segment of the pregame show tonight, but I want to take just a second to kind of set the stage on what's at stake tonight. And some of you might remember last year when we played Osceola the second round, we said on this very webcast that the winner of the Lakeland Osceola game, it was set up nicely for them to advance all the way to the state championship game and meet St. Thomas Aquinas, meet their fate with St. Thomas. And that's exactly what happened. If you remember, Osceola edged us in overtime, one of the best high school games we've probably seen in the 3-year history of the webcast. And sure enough, Osceola breezed through the next two rounds and ended up losing to St. Thomas in the state championship. Well, tonight I'm not saying that the winner of this game is going to make it to the state championship, but I would definitely say the winner of tonight's game between Lakeland and Plant will be the favorite next week. And the winner of this game will play the winner of Vieira versus Martin County.
Okay.
Vieira is in Melbourne. They're the district champions. Martin County is the district runner-up in that district. So the way the schedule works with the bracketing procedures, if Plant wins tonight, they would host next week against either of those teams. But if Lakeland wins tonight, we need to be cheering for Martin County, because it's the runner-up. If Martin County wins, they would have to travel to Bryant Stadium next Friday night on Thanksgiving weekend. But if Vieira prevails, Lakeland will have to go to Melbourne and play at Vieira next Friday night.
Wow. And, notoriously, Jeff, you kind of alluded to last year, of course, but this second round hasn't been real friendly to the Dreadnoughts in the past couple of years, and it's been a little elusive to get past this round number 2 for the Dreadnoughts.
I think the last time they got past the second round was 2011, so it's been 4 years.
Yeah, which is almost an eternity for a Lakeland Dreadnought program, but glad to be back. And particularly in the last couple of weeks, a lot of people have called me and mentioned, hey, is this what do you attribute this team playing so well in the past few weeks? And we've talked about certainly just some maturation with the players. They had a couple losses there that we thought were character builders, and now they've come alive. And, of course, injuries. They've gotten back a good core that is as healthy as they've ever been. You see them taking some practice warm-up handoffs. And so all that collectively, I think, coaches adding the plays in, everyone feeling comfortable with their positions, and that renewed focus the last 2 weeks has kind of resulted in a culmination of some great plays, some of the best we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, Lakeland comes in this game playing their best football of the year of the last 3 weeks, no doubt about it, especially the last 2 weeks. Or last 2 games, Kathleen and Sickles, they're playing awesome football. They're going to need it tonight against a very solid Plant team. And, Plant's a traditional power too. They've had a lot of success under Coach Robert Weiner, and they have a great program over there. In a lot of ways, it's similar. It's going to be kind of like 2 heavyweight champions, kind of mirror images of each other. Both teams are balanced. And, you know, we talk about sometimes Lakeland has the advantage in the fourth quarter of games because we're superior conditioned and all the work we do in the weight room. Well, that's not really going to be an advantage tonight. It's going to be equal because Plant, same thing. They have a great program. They hit their weights. You know, their condition. It's going to be two heavyweight champions battling out for 4 quarters tonight. And the team that executes the best and plays probably the most mistake-free football will probably prevail and advance on to the regional final next Friday night.
Yeah, it's almost like that little scale you use, you know, that old-timey scale to weigh things out. As you just said, Jeff, they're pretty much equal. There's not one that's bobbling up and down either way. You know, you have to give maybe a slight edge, Dreadnoughts just being at home, but, you know, this Plant team's fired up to be here, as most are. They're going to give them their best shot here at Bryant Stadium. They know what it's like to come in here. They've heard the stories. And
they did beat us in a state semifinal game about, I think, 5 years ago. Beat us pretty good, as a matter of fact. So we do have a little bit of history. We played them in playoffs, I think, at least once, I think a couple of times before. So it should be a great ball game tonight, coming off that exciting win, big win over Sickles last week.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because it was, again, some of the best play we've seen, inspired play. And again, we look at, when we have difficulty picking a player of the game, it's a good thing for us. No one stood out in particular. A lot of great performances, and any one of 5 or 6 people could have won on either side of the ball. But Jeff, they came in, and everyone, their keys, like you said, box checked on the keys to victory. They just swept everything they needed to do last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Including, we really got the running game going last week with A.J. Davis and Xavier Allen. You'll see that here on your screen, the terrific tandem ground game. A.J. Davis did not get in the end zone from his running back position, but 14 carries, 195 yards. That's, you know what, about 15 yards a carry. And then Xavier Allen cleaned up everything, got the touchdowns, 5 touchdowns on 12 carries, and he had 75 yards. So great 1-2 punch there for A.J. Davis and Xavier Allen. But don't forget, A.J. Davis did find the end zone on the 81-yard kickoff return, which really got us going, our first touchdown of the game last week.
A.J. Davis now 1,345 or thereabout yards on the season, 10 touchdowns, and he's nearly averaging 7.5 yards a carry, which is a tremendous thing. But a lot of people, Allen's been the talk the last few weeks. They're like, what is with this kid? What do you attribute to him doing so much better? We really don't have an answer other than, you know, you heard him. The coach has been working with him, keeping the feet moving, he said last week, and I think he's following some coach's instruction, and it's paying off.
And the offensive line has been blocking very well, opening big holes for both Allen and Davis. But also, I think, you know, obviously A.J. Davis is one of the best running backs in the county, if not the state. And so defenses are keying on him. And so sometimes, you know, Coach Castro's taking advantage of that by getting those quick hitters to the fullback Allen. And, you know, like we saw last week, he even had a couple longer runs, you know. Offensive line's opening a hole, then boom, he hits it hard, and he's hard to bring down, as we like to call him, the human bowling ball. So he's having a very good year, especially the second half of the season as a young fullback.
Yeah, you mentioned a good point of wearing down as far as physically the opposing team as you get in the third and fourth quarter. But a lot of times when you have that 1-2 punch, they're constantly coming at you. They're hitting you hard. That wears on that secondary, and those linebackers, they're kind of, they get gun shy a little bit. They don't want to keep taking those hard shots. And when Allen comes steaming at you, that bowling ball, everyone wants to get out of the way.
Strike. And no doubt about that, Tim. Yeah. Now let's talk about the quarterback play last week.
Yeah.
Holden Hotchkiss was Mr. Efficient. 10 of 12, 148 yards, and a touchdown, but most importantly, no interceptions. So the last few weeks, he's played mistake-free football, no turnovers, getting the job done, looking like a veteran passer. Well, early in the year, you could tell all these are juniors, first year's a starting quarterback. Now he's a seasoned junior, and he's got a year of starting experience underneath his belt.
Yeah, not many mistakes at all. He had a couple passes that were, we know his tendency is to overthrow it a little bit on a few, but boy, has the long ball been his friend in the last couple of games. Yeah, he's been on the mark.
And he was really on last week, and the only 2 incompletions he had were the 2 like you talked about, they just sail on him. And occasionally that happens, but he's been very accurate and very good the past few weeks. And before we put the Sickles game to rest, I do want to make a correction and issue an apology to all the Sickles fans out there. We mistakenly called their mascot, the Griffin, a dragon. And someone from their team, associated with their team, texted us or tweeted us and corrected us, and we didn't realize until after the game, but a griffin is not a dragon. It's a mythical creature that's half eagle and half lion. Oh. And I actually knew that because my daughter Sarah loves all kinds of animals. And she taught me that before.
Oh, yeah.
So when I was talking to her last weekend after the game, she said I embarrassed her by getting the two mixed up. So anyways, just to let everyone know, we do know what a griffin is. It's half lion, half eagle, not a dragon.
But it was so much easier to make dragon references and then come to that. So half eagle, half lion.
So
pretty cool creature.
To Sickles.
And nonetheless, he's put to rest for another year anyways, regardless. And we tamed the half lion, half bird. But it was a great game last week. And again, we thank you to our sponsor, Agnini Family Dental. But Jeff, we have a great sponsor, a game sponsor tonight as well.
Yeah, Arroyo Process Company out of Bartow. We'll talk more about them later in the game, but we appreciate, and they sponsored one of our playoff games last year too. So we appreciate them stepping up and sponsoring this game as well. But we're gonna go ahead and take our first commercial break now. And after we hear from our pregame show sponsor, Agnini Family Dental, we'll come back after this commercial.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
Welcome back to Bryant Stadium and Agnini Family Dental Countdown to Kickoff. Friday Night Football, you see right there, presented by Arroyo Process Equipment. And a few of us were talking earlier, Jeff, is crowded up here in the press box tonight, but a good problem to have. Several of the people coming over from Plant say they passed Kathleen and the lights are dark. And what anyone wouldn't give to still be here active in the second round of the playoffs. So we're happy to do that as you hear the band getting cranked up. So there may be some jostling going around up here in the press box, 6-7 cameras in place, and but everyone wants to bring you this great game tonight, and we're excited to do so.
We're very excited to do that. Just a quick word about our pregame show sponsor, Agnini Family Dental. If you watch this webcast, you know I'm a proud patient of Agnini Family Dental. They take great care of my teeth and all my oral mouth needs, if that's a phrase. But they do a great job, and I highly encourage you, if you're here in the Lakeland area or anywhere in Polk County and you're not satisfied with your dentist or you don't have a dentist, I strongly encourage you to call the fine folks at Agnini Family Dental, 682-1500, and tell them that Jeff and Tim from the webcast sent you. Whether you need braces, get a cavity filled, root canal, just get your teeth clean, whatever it is, they will take excellent care of you at Agnini Family Dental.
You know, Jeff, we don't have our friend, our official on the field reporter, Emily Dunson's out of town, as you mentioned. But we kind of gave him a highlight of the weather tonight. Shouldn't be any problem. No really rain in the area or anything. So we're in good shape as far as that goes. Nice breeze coming off Lake Parker. And I don't know if you wanted to talk about injuries at this point at all. Or.
Yeah, fortunately, over the last couple of weeks, we've had no new injuries to report. We stayed healthy really over the last few weeks. Of course, you still have some season-ending injuries from earlier in the year. But as of right now, everybody who's playing is pretty healthy, and we're fresh and we're ready to go tonight.
Yeah, and it's important. One of the things that any good team going into this second season is how did you come out of the regular season in terms of your personnel. And Coach Castle, again, we've seen, and we talked about it last week, moving some people around, making some things happen. Of course, Marquise Green, one of the big ones. But really impressive with Coach Castle and how he uses each player to get the most out of them. And again, tonight we'll be seeing that cohesive unit back together, and Marquise Green's been a big part of what's been happening.
Marquise Green is really transfer of the defensive line, and it's been a seamless transition for him. He's been dynamite, and when he switched over, Avery Edward was actually African. He's back now too, so we have two really strong tackles with Avery Edward and Marquise Green. And Coach Farkas has done a great job with the offensive line, but he's going to have a fight on his hands if he's going to get Marquise Green away from Coach Boldini next year and back on the offensive line full time.
Yeah.
Of course, he still plays a little bit on the offensive line, moonlighting those big packages, but he's really finding a home on the defensive line.
I think he's having a lot of fun. Let's take it down to the field for the national anthem. The Lakeland High School Dreadnought Marching Band here at Bryant Stadium doing a fantastic job. They're dressed down a little bit tonight. They've been in all their full regalia here the past couple of weeks and past month, really, as they went and finished out their competition season where they scored all superiors as they play Anchors away coming off the field. Great job by the band. One of the best years I've seen in quite some time. Got to give them credit. So, and as we do that, we're going to also start to highlight this game ahead of us because when you say Plant, a lot of people, again, during the week said, what do they look like, Tim? Do we have a chance? You know, and again, we said pretty equal, even Steven, as they call it. You know, avoid those turnovers are huge, which we've been able to do the past few weeks. And I think Plant has a mission, but the Dreadnoughts also on a mission this year. And I'm looking forward to this one. You know, oftentimes, a couple games this year where, you know, what's going to happen, not too excited about the outcome, but this is one you look forward to, and you hope you have these kind of matchups in the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. That's why Bright House is doing the game. It's two traditional powers, and it should be a great high school football game tonight. So let's go ahead and jump into breaking down Plant and this matchup tonight. As you see, their principal, Robert Nelson, their head coach, Robert Weiner, who's been there for many, many years. Not quite as long as Coach Cass, but he's had great success there. The nickname is the Panthers, and their colors are black and gold. They're 9-2 on the year. One of their losses was actually to a team from Georgia, first game of the year, Colquitt County, who's a traditional power in Georgia. And another loss is to the #1 team in 6A, and that's Armwood. So no shame in their two losses. So, you know, they're a very, very good team. In terms of common opponents, of course, they played Kathleen last week, beat them 35-24. And of course, we beat Kathleen by, I think maybe, was it 3 touchdowns? But it's dangerous trying to compare scores. And of course, they played Sickles because they're in the same district. And they actually had to take Sickles to double overtime, and they won that game 28-21. Wow. And of course, we had a big win last week over Sickles, 55-26. But I know Coach Castle and the players were not talking about those scores and trying to make any assumptions. As broadcasters and fans, we can look at that a little bit, you know, but that's definitely dangerous for you know, certainly for us to, I mean, for them to do. But anyways, it should be a good game tonight. Like we talked about earlier, whichever team executes the best, I think is going to win. But in terms of what does Plant look like, let's first start talking about Plant's defense. Okay. Coach Harbin told me, our running backs coach, well, first we'll go ahead and talk about Plant's offense here. As you see their impact players, wide receiver #1, Wap Fillier, running back Tykees Keaton Baldwin, and then their quarterback Dane Franson, number 16. Now their quarterback, who was supposed to be their starting quarterback going into the year this year, Culpepper was his last name. He got hurt towards ACL in July, so he's been out for the whole year. So they've kind of used a dual quarterback system throughout the year, but Franson is who you're going to see probably play more tonight. The other quarterback, I think his last name is Kitcher, he's number 13. You might see him some as well. Okay. They're a balanced offense. They're going to mix it up, run and pass, although they do rely on the run a little bit more than the pass. But as we highlighted, the impact players, #1, they have a couple good receivers, including #4, who also doubles as a cornerback. But #1, he's going to be their big weapon and the person that we're going to have to neutralize tonight if we're going to be successful, you know, against Plant. And talking to Coach Boldini last night, our defensive coordinator, he also told me that, you know, their offense is similar to us. It's primarily a pro set. They will mix it up, give us different looks, different formations, go spread it a little bit, but they're going to definitely run the ball, and they're going to be in the I formation quite a bit, but they're definitely very other formations, some and mix it up and give us some looks and different things to be, you know, concerned about. Yeah, you saw one team, one dream there at the front of the runway to victory, and the Dreadnoughts looking to pick up the second win. There's a lot of excitement to this Plant team. You know, Coach Weiner, who's been there quite a while, has that same kind of buzz around their program. You know, a lot of big support and just excited. And so the offense balance there, from what I hear you tell me, a lot similar to the Dreadnoughts. How about on defense? What do they have going? Well, Coach Harbin told me their defense is very, very solid, fundamentally sound. They rarely make mistakes. They're hardly ever out of position. He said it's probably the best defense we've seen all year. And he said every yard we get, we're going to have to earn tonight. So that's not going to be easy. You know, we'll see. I think, you know, the prolonged drives are going to be difficult, you know, for Lakeland. So certainly if we can get some big plays, whether it's springing A.J. Davis for some big runs, or getting James Robinson and Tariq Young, you know, involved in that deep passing game like we talked about, that Holden Hotchkiss really throws such a good deep ball. I think we're going to have to be able to get some big plays because I'm not sure if we're going to be able to consistently drive the ball down the field and for, a lot. I'm not saying we won't do it all, but in terms of doing it just methodically, drive in and drive out against this tough, physical, sound Plant defense, I doubt that's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, you saw there, too, the Plant flag, and Coach Weiner was right there and behind him. You saw some height difference there. Some of his players also, they have some, let's say girth and size on both sides of the ball.
And they do have some D1 prospects, including one of their defensive tackles. Is a very, very good player.
Yeah. And so, again, Dreadnoughts have been able to overcome. We've seen some teams come in here with some size advantage. Speed obviously kills a lot, Jeff, and able to run around some of those blocks, and depending on which side of the ball you're on. Certainly just executing your game plan better than anyone else. But you see big number 77 right there, too. A couple guys nearly a helmet above the coaches. So some big front men for the Plant Panthers.
And, of course, as you said, when you talk about Plant having that, kind of the feel around the program, the buzz, just like Lakeland, they have put a lot of players in the college ranks, Division I schools, and they've won a lot. So, yeah, the people know about them. Maybe not quite to the degree of Lakeland having the national reputation, but people definitely know about the Plant Panthers.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Lakeland's impact players after talking about Plant a little bit. Obviously some names that you'll be pretty familiar with, particularly on offense, number 2.
Well, certainly after the game last week by both A.J. Davis and Xavier Allen, certainly we could not put them in impact players today, as they're coming off huge games last week, and hopefully we'll be able to see a repeat performance the other night. And then James Robinson, who's really rounding the form after he missed the first few games of the year due to injury. He's really come on strong and late, and I expect him to have another big game tonight in the passing game for the Dreadnoughts.
We saw some incredible performances, particularly Matt Kramer had a great one last week on defense. And I would say, as far as impact players on defense, Jeff, who are we looking at tonight?
But tonight on the defensive line, we went with Marquise Green, just, because he's going to need to be a force against that Plant running game. And then also, we went with our two standout linebackers who will also be counted on in run support, but also to help defend the pass as well. Of course, Dan Query's Long just had a tremendous season, and Kelvin Broom, who's also had a very good season, and I think even had a better second half of the year than he did the first half.
I would agree with that. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, coming on strong. And so I think those are some guys to keep our eyes out tonight when the Dreadnoughts are on defense.
Yeah. Kelvin has come along, and a lot of expectations from him, and he's really played solid and consistent the last 3 or 4 games. I know this week in the news, too, Plant had their National Signing Day. As you said, a lot of these programs take not just football players, but I think Plant had 9, 10 signees from whether it was tennis or swimming, basketball going, and baseball. I think they had a big player going as well to a Division I school. So a lot of talent there and a lot of pride in both these schools. As you can see, the Plant Panthers ready to growl onto Bill Castle Field and Bryant Stadium here. And here come the Panthers.
Yeah, there's not going to be an intimidation factor of Plant. Yeah, it's Bryant Stadium,
so, yeah.
But not with them. They play a big-time schedule. They play tough games. They're going to come out here ready to go.
Interesting how they entered from the north end zone, too, headed south. But, of course, with every game, Jeff, there's some keys and what we want to accomplish. So we've been able to check off a lot of those boxes the past few weeks, but some keys to victory this week for the Lakeland High School Dreadnoughts.
So, Tim, we came up with my 3 keys to victory. Number 1, big plays on offense, as we just were talking about a while ago. This tough Plant defense. I doubt we're going to be able, like we said, have those prolonged drives so we can hit some big plays in the passing game to James Robinson, Tariq Young, and hopefully maybe spring A.J. Davis for some of those long runs.
Yep.
That's going to definitely make it a little easier for the offense tonight. And key number 2, a special night for special teams. Along the same lines, it'd be great if you get maybe a special teams touchdown, whether it's a block punt, like a couple weeks ago.
I want to see a pick 6. I'm looking for one of those tonight.
Or we've seen A.J. Davis return a kickoff last week for a touchdown. We've seen Tariq Young return punts for a touchdown. We've seen James Robinson have some long kickoff returns. So we have multiple people who can make big plays. And I didn't even mention defense. Yes, a defensive score would be just as special as a special team score tonight, Tim. And then also the third key to victory is win the turnover battle against Plant. And as always, we talk about and harp on limiting the penalties. Hopefully we'll be able to do that tonight. And I believe, Tim, if we're able to check off the boxes for these 3 keys to victory tonight, Lakeland will, in fact, walk away from this game tonight victorious, heading on to the regional final next Friday night.
You saw Kelvin Broom, one of the captains there, is one of the defensive players to watch there. They're the 4 captain lineup tonight for the Lakeland High School Dreadnoughts.
Matt Kramer and Seth Roy and George Madden joining Kelvin Broom there.
Yeah, fine looking group. Interesting, last week we didn't win the coin toss, but Sickles decided to take the ball first, and interesting kind of call. The Lakeland obviously always defers when we win the coin toss. We'll see what happens here in just a minute, and we're just a few minutes getting ready for
away
kickoff.
from the coin toss,
yeah,
and then the
moments
kickoff.
away, and so stay with us, certainly.
And just one little housekeeping note.
Yeah.
We were just informed a while ago that 2 of our players have changed their uniform number. Marquise Green, instead of 52 tonight, would be number 61.
Uh-oh.
And Avery Edward, instead of number 74, would be number 99 tonight.
Some covert operations going on there, changing some uniforms. And as you can see, the captain's out at midfield.
And, you know, I don't expect tonight's game to really be chippy. I think, like you said, both programs having the stature they have, I think there's a respect between Lakeland and Plant. So I expect us to see a very clean and crisp and well-played game tonight, without any chippiness that maybe you might sometimes see in a rivalry game like Lakeland and Kathleen, say, for example.
Yeah, Lakeland, as you see at the runway to victory, is kind of taking the same stance. They've waited for their captains to come back. They've all taken that march together as a team, and they've sprung free onto Bryant Stadium. So it looks like they're going to do that again tonight.
So Plant has won the toss, and they have declined. So Lakeland, of course, will receive the opening kickoff, and Plant will get the ball first to start the second half tonight. And we'll have to see what direction Lakeland's going to choose to go here in the first quarter. Looks like Plant will kick off from the north end of the field, and Lakeland will receive the ball in the south end zone to start tonight's playoff football game.
To say a quick hello to our friends at Champion are here as well. They're trucked down in the south end zone and well displayed. And of course, they've fitted us with our shirts that we've been wearing, alternating black and orange this year.
Champion uniforms on tonight.
Champion uniforms on tonight.
All
looking good.
Well.
And here come your Dreadnoughts.
And although, like, as we mentioned a while ago, Emily Dunson is out of town tonight, not able to be here. We'll still have interviews for you tonight. I'll be going down to the field and interviewing one of the assistant coaches at halftime. And then, of course, interview some players and Coach Castle after the game tonight.
The mini helmets juiced up, got off the field. We're juiced up, and we're ready to get this thing underway here at Bryant Stadium.
And once again, we want to just thank Arroyo Process Equipment for sponsoring our game tonight. Of course, the Slikers own that company, and their son Kurt Sliker was a standout offensive lineman.
That's right.
For Lakeland, and he, of course, graduated last year. And once again, we thank the Slikers and Arroyo for sponsoring tonight's game for us.
A lot of great businesses around Central Florida that support the Dreadnoughts, and that certainly is a fine representation.
Yeah, Tim, just a little bit more about Arroyo. They have been synonymous with the world's most respected pump and mixture manufacturers, serving the process industry for over 45 years. They have locations in Clearwater, Jacksonville, Bartow, and the Dominican Republic. Strategic positions there that allow them, give them the strength to meet the immediate challenges of the various industries that they serve. So once again, we appreciate Arroyo Process Equipment for sponsoring tonight's game and allowing us to bring it to you here, this playoff regional semifinal matchup between the Panthers and your Lakeland Dreadnoughts.
They were a sponsor when Kurt played, Jeff, and it sounds like they've had some success. They've grown a little bit since that time, which is fantastic to hear. And a lot of times when you serve the community, put in hard work, and have a great product, it sounds like they've done fantastic. So that's good to hear. You can see the Dreadnoughts raising their helmets. These have to be some of my favorite uniforms ever provided by Champion. Just so sharp in the all black pants and black jerseys, but just set off by a hair of that kind of gray or slate camo or charcoal color, that stripe down the pants. The helmet doesn't change, which is a classic. And that's another classic right there, Coach Bill Castle, who has been the steady leader of the ship for many, many years, chasing that number 400 win.
The new police chief for Lakeland, Chief Giddens, was the speaker at the Booster Club meeting Monday night. And he was talking about what a treasure Coach Castle is for Lakeland High School and the Lakeland community as a whole. What a great job he's done over here the last almost 40 years as the head coach at Lakeland High School.
One of the little unknowns when we have television coverage is when they're doing their commercials and getting themselves straight. Sometimes we have a few delays in the game, and that's what we're having right now. Just a little bit of a
take this moment to give a shout out to Coach Farkas's parents. They're watching up in Richmond, Virginia. Thanks for texting in. They said, "Go Dreadnoughts" from Richmond, Virginia.
Feel free to, again, tweet us all game long. We hopefully will make you proud here and have some things to talk about, and we're certainly willing to do a shout out or get you on the air here.
Well, speaking of Emily Dunson a while ago, she just texted and said she's tuning in. I think she's in the Washington, D.C. area. It's 20 degrees and snowing here.
Wow.
Definitely a change of pace for Friday nights. And she also says she loves the new uniforms.
Thank you, Emily.
Yeah,
Stay safe.
I think these are the brand new uniforms that Champions provided for the playoffs, I believe.
Yeah, we also, of course, I was talking to Mike down a little bit earlier and asked how Lisa was doing, and she is tuned in tonight. Lisa, we love you, and glad you're starting to feel a little bit better.
Lisa Nichols, of course.
Yeah, Lisa Nichols, of course, and she is a great supporter and just a tremendous help to Mike for many years. Does a lot of behind-the-scenes work, and not only is she a client of mine, but great friends, and just we appreciate you a lot, Lisa, and glad you're feeling a little bit better. And we certainly say our prayers that will continue. As we are about set, as you can hear the crowd starting to get hyped up. Plant winning the coin toss. The left footer launches one, and I mean launches it. That's going to hit near the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Dreadnoughts will start at the 20-yard line. Looks
that
like a
kicker
weapon
definitely
there.
has a powerful leg.
Big shot. There was no question there. That got a lot of height in a hurry.
Number 26, Stephen Yath.
Kind of have an east-west wind. Interesting wind tonight, swirling again back in our faces a little bit. As the Dreadnoughts set on their first offensive possession, Holden Hotchkiss, 3 wide receivers in a single file line, looking all conformed as they throw it out, try to pick up some blocks, finding a seam. Tariq Young, the first play, not much of a gain there, maybe a yard or two.
Number 5, Michael Murphy, pushed him out of bounds. You didn't even see in that first play what Coach Hartman's talking about. They were in position, they didn't get fooled by that, and they're going to be tough to move the ball against tonight.
We've seen our receivers, Jeff, do some incredible blocking downfield. I think we're going to have that tonight as well. Everyone's going to have to take care of a man in order to create just a little bit of a seam for some of our offensive players to work. We did.
2nd and 11.
Tariq had to line up behind the line and therefore, again, lost a yard before he got anything moving.
Robinson's got single coverage out here on the left side of the field.
And they might test him. Holden Hotchkiss has the first flag of the night.
It's a false start against the Dreadnoughts. It's always interesting once you get in the playoffs, you get refs from a different area, neutral area, so you don't recognize them. You kind of get used to the Polk County refs in the regular season, some familiar faces, but we always see new officials for the playoffs. Which is the way it should be, of course.
less penalties. We noticed the change last week, Jeff. They let them play a little bit more. There was a few, which I kind of liked during the playoffs. Certainly call the game changers the flagrant fouls, but some of the times letting them play a little bit and scrapping it out is not a bad thing. Just underway here, first offensive possession. Lakeland going backwards a little bit on a 2nd and 16. Man-to-man coverage, a pump fake, and has the man wide open and caught down the sideline. Robinson with a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch. What a job of concentration. Hotchkiss just laid it out there past the defender, and Robinson ran straight under it. Hard catch, Jeff.
As we were just talking about, Robinson had single coverage, no safety help at all, and that's an enticing matchup for Coach Castle and Holden Hotchkiss. So they easily convert a 2nd and 16 as they get about 36 yards in that play, I believe. And as you talked about in the pregame show, Holden Hotchkiss throws a beautiful deep ball. Great job there by Holden and a great catch by James Robinson.
My word, I don't know how Robinson found that ball, but he was able to get it in his sights and just bring it in. Beautiful job of concentration. First down and 10 at midfield. Hotchkiss handoff left side and immediately brought down Davis. Not even getting to the line of scrimmage. Number 96 there with a big pursuit. Yeah, you're going to see that. Jeff just got some inside scoop on
yeah, that's
Bo.
their big-time defensive tackle, Bo Peak. This is actually his first year at Plant. He transferred over from Berkeley Prep. They're in the Tampa area, and he's actually committed to go to Stanford. He's a great student as well, so he'll be heading out to the West Coast to play his college football.
Brain and bronze.
Big kid there, 6'2", 285.
2-yard loss. Handoff this time. Davis gets smacked right at the line again. What good defensive pursuit, just getting right through the offensive line.
Big Bo Peak with the stop along with number 4, Scoop Bradshaw, came up and helped him.
Another 2-yard loss going in the wrong direction from our star, A.J. Davis. So far, negative rushing yards on the night.
But this is really not surprising. This is exactly kind of what we expected to see tonight from this tough Plant defense.
Number 14, Quintavious Isaac checks in.
Hotchkiss can maybe dial up another big pass play here to convert this 3rd and 14.
He's going to split Isaac, Young, and
Trips
Davis.
Wide right and Robinson wide
to
left.
This near side. Robinson comes back on an inside pass, has a little bit of room, makes a nice cut. Still on his feet, gets the first down. Spun around to the 36-yard line. Beautiful play by Robinson. Patience as he kind of came back on that inside cutback, found a little seam in the middle, and then made the first down.
It's a 20-yard gain on 3rd and 14.
Some big yards after the catch, Jeff. We talked about the Yaks. He didn't have the first down, really had to still work after he caught the ball and just was patient, following a few blockers and getting a first down.
Or actually, that may have been more like about a 17-yard gain. So he's got about 2 big plays here for James Robinson to start this on this opening drive.
Into Panther territory we go. Davis is getting hit harder probably than I've seen him get hit. He is getting racked right at the line of scrimmage. I see the offensive line a little bit just kind of going off their blocks. They really need to hold those blocks a little bit longer.
A plethora of
Panther
players.
Peter Piper picked.
Make that stop, but this time though, AJ did get back to the line of scrimmage after losing 2 yards on each of his first 2 carries tonight.
Hate to say that that's a small victory, but it's one of the first times he's just made it back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Hotchkiss under center. 3-step drop. Man-to-man coverage again. He's going to go deep. Robinson out there. Catches it at the 4-yard line. Saunters into the end zone. Touchdown, Naughton Robinson. What a beautiful series by the fine wide receiver, number 4, James Robinson.
Big play, James Robinson has come to play tonight, Tim Conti, as he has 3 catches on that drive, totaling, basically the whole drive was him because we lost yards. I mean, I think he had over 80 yards there on those first, on those 3 catches.
I think Robert Wiener's probably going to make some adjustments out there on that man-to-man coverage. That may be one of the last times we see that tonight, as Robinson is just making the adjustments. Not a perfectly thrown ball, but he spotted it quick enough, Jeff, to make an adjustment, come back to the ball a little bit, and then get high. He got high up in the air, elevated, so there's no chance.
Yeah, he high pointed the ball, and he may have got away with a slight,
tiny
the slightest
tug, yeah.
of maybe a push off there. But
it's more of a guiding hand.
If the refs don't call it, then it's not a foul.
So pretty well defensed, certainly on the ground by Panthers, but some gaping holes on the receiving side with 3 big plays coming from Hotchkiss to Robinson, all better than 15 yards.
If my math is correct, James Robinson on the opening drive had 3 catches for 90 yards. And you might say, well, how do you have 90 yards? The drive started at the 20. We had a 5-yard penalty. Davis lost 4 yards, and Young lost a yard on that first catch. So there you go, 3 catches for 90 yards for James Robinson, the opening drive of this contest.
And the Dreadnoughts on the board first here at Bryant Stadium. Welcome, everyone, to the FHSAA second round of the playoffs.
I think it's safe to say you can check off the first key to victory, big plays on offense.
Keep that rolling.
Here comes McKenzie McDonald. After converting the extra point, would be kicking off.
McDonald with a launch
into the wind just a little bit.
At the 1-yard line, returnable. Out to the 15, sidesteps one special teams guy, and then gets hammered at the 19.
That's to a big play receiver.
So Wap Fillier making the...
we just checked with the plant cameraman up here. That's Wap Fillier. Wap Fillier. He's their big play wide receiver. Had the kickoff return of about 18 yards out to the 19-yard line where they have their first possession of the game. 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
First time we get to see the Panthers on offense tonight. They send Fillier in motion. Quarterback keeper gets wrangled up in the backfield, so similar to what they did to us.
I think Matt Kramer got the kind of first hit there on top, and then Marquise Green came in, number 61, and finished him off.
Yeah, Franson just a quarterback keeper all the way on the fake and just got wrangled. The first step he took got spun around. You know, always when you see that head jerk around, you think face mask, but they got helmet, and it was a legal play. Knott's now on a stop, slight loss of a half yard, 2nd down and 11, call it. Franson steps up this time under center, his big center. Sends Fillier in motion again. Sweep pitch this time to the outside. Dreadnoughts have him, and they nail him at the 15 for a loss. Fantastic pursuit by the Knott defense. Not to be outdone right there. Is that Hampton?
That's Landon May, I believe.
Landon May.
And Jaquarius Smith combining to make that tackle for the Dreadnoughts. Or maybe Hampton, number 8. Yeah, I think it's number 8. I misread the jersey number 8.
It's okay, it's all squashed together. Yeah. It's hard to see, you can see it on camera there better.
Like a 9 a little bit there. So 3rd and 14 for the Panthers. Lakeland was able to convert a 2nd long and a 3rd and long in their opening drive. We'll see if the Panthers can do the same thing or not.
Hampton dropping back into coverage in the safety position, expecting pass. They do an inside handoff to number 6, a draw play, and they miss number 6, and he's got lots of room to the outside. Good. So they finally get Tykees Baldwin Keaton, just kind of that inside draw play. We had a shot at him, Jeff. One guy completely missed the tackle. Got
to give some credit there to wide receiver for the Panthers, number 81, Matt Hessen. Got a great block on the Lakeland cornerback on the far side and kept him out of the play.
Yeah, Hampton and Damari Mathis come to this near side and defense. They're going to work quickly straight up the middle again. Same running back, but the defense stingy up the middle once again for the Knotts. Good play. Gain of about a yard.
I think that's Jaquarius Smith, his 2nd big stop of the night from his linebacker position.
Obviously the Panthers.
We've talked so much about Broom and Longs, but Jaquarius Smith, also a valuable member of the Lakeland defense, off to a good start tonight.
Number 81 goes out wide. Number 1, Fillier to this near side. Fake handoff, looking deep downfield. Pretty good coverage. Now quarterback scrambles. He's going to go down at the 40-yard line. Falls forward, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
That's Matt Kramer, the standout defensive end for the Dreadnoughts, his first sack of the game.
One of those coverage sacks, as you might call it, because...
Absolutely, that's a good point, Tim. The Lakeland secondary had the Panther receivers on lockdown.
They had them pinned, Jeff. I looked downfield, and there was all over. Quarterback going to keep, then flicks it off. It's going to be short.
It's going to be close to first down, but it's going to be about a yard short.
Holy cow, they got a generous spot.
Well, no, he caught the ball there. Lakeland pushed him back. I think that's a fair spot. Number 14, made the catch, Judge Culpepper, for the Panthers. But it's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and 1. So we'll see if Coach Wiener rolls the dice here early in the game. It looks like they're going to go for it.
Number 6 trots into the ball game. That's Tykees Baldwin-Keaton. And the quarterback, Franzen, checks back in. Will it be a quarterback keeper behind that big offensive line?
And Franzen's a pretty big kid. He's got some size to him.
Will they try the hard snap count on a 4th down? Let's see. No, they hand it off, and they jump over the pile.
Well, that's going to be close. I think it looks like they're going to give it to him. I think he got it just barely. We kind of pushed him back there, but he had gotten the ball past the 50 before we moved him back a little bit. So it is going to be a 1st down by the narrowest of margins.
A little bit of boo birds here, but I think that's probably the correct call, as he did leap over and then got pushed back. So hard to say where the ball actually got to, but they're going to say it is one ball length beyond the 50-yard line and a 1st down.
Our water break here in the 1st quarter, so we'll take a quick commercial break and be right back with you. 7-0 Dreadnoughts.
In my profession, we meet a lot of people who are going through a lot of losses and harms, and people who have lost loved ones, lost children, losing their house, losing their car, and it really wears on you sometimes. But I can tell you that it also drives you. It really pushes you to want to protect them. When we help clients, we can't always fix all their problems, but we do our very best to help them through their problems.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 23rd annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, you see Matt Kramer there with Kelvin Broom and company. You know, sometimes depending on the teams you face, different impact players have to step up on that first drive. Robinson carried the load as Davis having a little tough going on the ground. The Panthers on their first offensive possession have reached midfield on a 4th down conversion, 4th and 1. They went for it and picked it up by the hair of their chinny chin chin.
In the pregame show, we talked about their starting quarterback, or supposed to be their starting quarterback, towards ACL in the summertime. That's Rex Culpepper. And the guy that caught that ball while going 3rd down is his younger brother, Judge Culpepper, who's only a sophomore. But as a sophomore, he's already 6'4" and 225. So there's some big boys in the Culpepper family there.
The offensive line looks stout, no doubt about it. 5:22 in the 1st quarter. Dreadnoughts lead by 1 score. Strong I formation for their quarterback, Franzen. Sends Arroyo in motion. Number 5 is going to run for his life behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get hit for about a yard loss.
The timing was off on the handoff there. That was
ugly from the start.
Yeah, ugly from the start. And there's a reason that these Culpepper kids are so big. Their dad was pretty big. Brad Culpepper, former Gator and Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and now attorney there in the Tampa area.
Wouldn't be surprised if Brad's here tonight, probably over on that opposing sideline.
You remember Tony Dungy's son played at Plant several years ago, so there's some pedigree here in the Plant program.
Absolutely. 2nd down 11 after the 1-yard loss. Man goes in motion. 3 wide receivers to this far side. Dreadnoughts look like they have things covered pretty well. Quarterback throws it. Nicely done by, again, number 8, who's having a fine game, Torian Hampton, so far. Yeah, there was holding. Everyone saw it.
Matt Kramer looking at the referee going, what else has to happen for you to call holding? I mean, the guy had both hands under his shoulder pads, and the referee was looking at it and didn't throw the flag, but clearly a missed call there by the head referee. 3rd and 11, another 3rd and long here for the Panthers. The Panthers have been able to get nothing going on 1st or really even 2nd down so far tonight.
Robinson actually man-to-man coverage. It's a pitch kind of late, and nice hit by Hampton, who comes up. Oh, he got hurt his shoulder a little bit there, though. Hopefully he didn't.
Jaquan Lawrence finished him off, but Hampton laid the lumber. But as you say, he may have hurt himself in the process. Sometimes you're better off just trying to bring him down as opposed to really laying the lumber like that. Sometimes you end up hurting yourself more than the opponent. And unfortunately, that looks like what happened there with Torrey Hampton. Hopefully he's going to be all right. He's been playing excellent football of late for the Dreadnoughts.
That was a big collision. Again, anytime through our headphones you can hear pads hit. But he came running in from a good 7 yards deep on a sprint, and just his shoulder, you could see his body just taking all that. Hopefully he just got the bell rung a little bit and shake off a few cobwebs, and he'll be back ready to go.
Going to be 4th and 4 now for, excuse me, 4th and 3 for the Panthers. Should be interesting to see what Coach Wiener does. You're in the area where a punt might end up in the end zone.
I think he just got a stinger because the good news is he just lifted his hand up, both hands, to take his helmet off, which is a good thing. So I think he just got one of those jarring hits kind of that says your body, hey, take a seat for a second. 4th and 3, and the offense is coming out.
It looks like they're going to go for it. Coach Wiener showing some confidence in his offense here tonight.
Dreadnought defense played very good so far. Number 4 goes in motion, then pedals back. Oh, we jumped off, but not enough. We got back, so they didn't get the easy one. Let's see if they snap it, or they're
not going to snap
playing
it.
A little tomfoolery here. Defense set, and Coach Castle's raising his hands in the air saying, wait a minute, there's some kind of time limit on there, the snap count.
And Coach Wiener calls a timeout, so they're going to talk it over and most likely punt.
Matt Kramer cracking his head back and forth there. I think Matt's grown like 2 inches this season. Number 83. He's listed at 6'4", 200. He's every bit of 6'4", 215, 220.
Yeah, he's kind of growing into his body, so to speak, there.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should say his body is growing. Because he is, I think, committed, I believe it's either FAU or FIU. I think it's FIU, but he'll be playing Division I college football next year somewhere. Will Matt Kramer, one of those schools down there in the South Florida area.
Whoever it is, they're getting a good one.
Good kid and tireless worker. Got that motor that never stops. See some of the Dreadnought fans, Coach Sid Kimbrell there, former Mayor Frank O'Reilly. Some of the Lakeland faithful here, they're here every Friday night at Bryant Stadium.
And here comes Franzen and company. They're going to try this again on a 4th and long 3 yards. They shift a little bit. Number 4 goes out. Scoop Bradshaw to the far side.
Watch out for the quarterback draw.
2 wide receivers each side. And there is the quarterback draw, and they get it. They saw the offense or the defensive line spread, Jeff Goddard. And that's why they called the timeout, because they saw all the coverage and they saw the middle of that field open, and you called it right on the button.
Jaquarius Smith made the tackle in his 3rd tackle of this opening drive. But yeah, they sent the guy in motion, and when you do that and you spread everybody out, as you said, the defense has to spread out with him, and then you leave the middle of it open. And that was a good call there by Coach Wiener and his offensive staff. A 5-yard gain on 4th and 3.
So no fresh set of downs now, moving closer into Dreadnought territory. Handoff number 6, and there's a flag on the play.
That comes to the area where it could be holding or maybe a legal procedure of some kind. Yep, holding against the Panthers. So once again, they're having problems on 1st down. Going to be 1st and should be 20 unless it was a little bit downfield. Might be 1st and 18. We'll have to see exactly where they said the holding infraction occurred at.
Of course, both teams, want to establish a run, want to get that 5-6 yards on 1st down. Jeff, it's not happening. Both defenses are staying tough, particularly in the middle of the field. The holding penalty will take the ball all the way back to midfield.
So actually, it's going to be 1st and 22 as it was behind the line of scrimmage.
Franzen, 5 yards deep. Fake handoff, flings it out, and it's going to be too far ahead of the intended receiver. Number 4, old Scoop Bradshaw.
Incomplete pass, so the clock will stop. Still 3:07 here to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 22 now for the Panthers. The Dreadnoughts up 7-0 on a 37-yard touchdown strike from Holden Hotchkiss to James Robinson on the opening drive.
Franzen just trying to get some of his skill players the ball in open territory, but now a 2nd and 22 from the 50-yard line. Man inside motion. Franzen rolls out right side, goes back left, sets up the screen, but well defended. The Knots were all over again. Tykees, Baldwin, Keaton, even if he would have caught the ball, they're saying it was tipped.
I think that was Denquarius Longs who blew that play up. Good play there by the standout linebacker.
Decent thought by the Panthers is you want to exploit those quick defenses by having it work against them a little bit. Misdirection is always a good thing, but you have to execute.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if we see that play again at some point in this ball game. Of course, if he had caught it, he actually would have lost a couple yards.
Draw up the old 3rd and 22 play. 3 wide receivers to the far side. And they're going to go man-to-man coverage at number 1, Filior. Filior well defended by the man of the night so far, Robinson, who's playing both ways. So now he turns the tables a little bit. Instead of receiver, turns into a fine defensive back on that play.
Got the deflection there. Great play by Robinson, but he's got to be careful. I saw him give the shush shine to Filior there, and after his touchdown, he also celebrated, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Well, that drive seemed like it lasted forever.
But we'll take it. No points.
And no points as the result from the Panthers. The low snap bobbled a little bit, and nearly blocked, but that'll be a flag because he missed the ball. So it will be a penalty as Young is sidestepping his way around.
A nice return. Now, I'm not sure. I think, unfortunately, this is going to be automatic first down, even though it's 4th and 22. I think this might be an automatic first down.
All he had to do was get a little piece of the ball, and he missed it.
It's so enticing not to go after it when you see the ball on the ground, but unfortunately, as you said, he didn't get any of the ball, so it's a no-brainer of a call, and it is the personal foul variety there of running into the kicker.
And if you obviously want to always protect your players, but if you're Coach Wiener, you'd say, okay, the ideal play on a 4th and 22 would be to get an automatic first down personal foul. So that's what they did there. Huge penalty right there, but like you said, hard to fault
unfortunately, even though it's 4th and 22, since it's a personal foul, it counts as an automatic first down, so the Panthers will get to keep possession.
Hard again to say, hey, don't go after that one, because literally a few inches makes the difference.
It's too enticing there. The ball's on the ground. I mean, you see that and you go after it. It's an instinct play.
Well, he was there too. He just actually went over the ball. The kicker went underneath him. As the defense thought they were going to have a rest, and they have to come back out. Now a 5-yard, 6-yard run on first down.
That's the best play they've had on first down. That is the best play on
first down.
Nice run there by Keaton Baldwin.
It does take something out of you, Jeff. Not only you think you're kind of off the field and you can take a breather. Now you got to run back out. Second and 5. 81 goes out wide. Matt Hessen, Franzen, shotgun the keeper all the way. Quarterback to the right side. Gets to the outside and he gets pushed out of bounds there. Torian Hampton.
Who was back in the game, so no worse for wear there. He got banged up a little bit a few plays ago.
Quarterback still picking up positive yards there on second down. First down, as a matter of fact, they're saying. No.
Should be a first down. Yeah, it's a first down, 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
This drive nearly taking up the remainder of the first quarter, Jeff.
It's a very interesting first quarter here.
Number 1, Fillmore in motion. Inside handoff. Oh, nice tackle Ball carrier got bent backwards, number 5,
quartet
Michael
of Lakeland
Murphy.
players converging to make the tackle, including Torian Hampton and Damari Mathis. I think the Aquarius Longs was in there. Just a great job of gang tackling there by the Dreadnoughts.
Oh, Murphy, M&M for Panthers. Michael Murphy got pretzelized, but he's popped up okay. A minute 18 on the clock. Franzen, sweep left side to number 6. Keaton makes a cut, nice jumps a man. Flag on the play, though.
Probably going to be holding again, I would imagine, against the Panthers. Second time in this drive, the Panthers are guilty of a holding infraction. So that's going to back them up. It'll be 2nd and long for the Panthers.
I think they've cloned Torian Hampton tonight because he is all over the field.
Nice to see the orange and black balloons swaying in the wind there in the south end zone.
Breeze picking up a little bit off Lake Parker.
2nd 18 now for the Panthers.
Again, the Dreadnought gets the Panther offense in a bit of a hole. They can avoid the penalty fake handoff. Good coverage and blocked. Beautiful job again, Hampton. Number 8 all over the place.
Torian Hampton having quite a ball game here in the first
strong
quarter.
Move early for the defensive player of the game.
Don't forget Aquarius Smith, who's had 3 tackles as well in this drive, but he's really bringing that. As you said, he's kind of doing a little bit of everything, helping stop the run, pressuring the quarterback, deflecting balls, a little bit of everything from the senior safety from the Dreadnoughts.
Man, oh man, if the defense can get off the field here with no points, that will be a huge victory. 7-0 Knots trying to hold that lead. Panthers keep coming at us. Man-to-man coverage, the near side, spreading the field. Franzen, inside handoff, lots of room. And a bull rush, it'll be 4th down.
So he got about 12 or 13 yards there. It's going to be.
They got a whale of a kicker.
4th and 5.
They'll probably go for it down here outside the 20.
4th and 5 from the 21-yard line. It'll be a 38-yard field goal. And it looks like they're going to go for the field goal as the field goal kicker, number 26, is coming on. Stephen Yaff. So it will, in fact, be a 38-yard field goal attempt for the Panthers.
He can absolutely.
The
I was
lefty
watching,
kicker.
Yeah, I was watching him again during pregame and just drilling the ball. So this is almost a chip shot for Yaff.
He's got the wind at his back, too, right now.
Decent snap, gets it down, and he just launches one right through the middle. And
that was easy peasy for the plant kicker there.
That's a victory for the Knots, I'd say.
Well, of course, unfortunate roughing the punter call there allowed them to get a field goal. Otherwise, we would have had the ball up 7-0. But nonetheless, a good first quarter for Lakeland. There's just 2 seconds left before the quarter comes in. Lakeland now up 7-3.
Let's keep it right here for just a minute, do some announcements. We'd like to thank Strawberry Hut on Memorial Boulevard. Many of you may have seen them. And also the North Hooters for providing the Press Box Eats tonight. They both are the co-Press Box sponsors. Once again, the Strawberry Hut on Memorial Boulevard and North Hooters. Thank you for being tonight's Press Box sponsors.
Got a little help with the pronunciation of the kicker. Instead of Yaff, it's Yaffe. Stephen Yaffe. Their cameraman up here was just telling me that he can, routinely kick the ball for 45 yards. So a dangerous weapon there for Plant with their field goal kicker.
Well, I think Yaffe on this one with the wind will have no problem getting it deep in the end zone. Although Young and company, Robinson would love to return one. I don't think they're going to get a shot tonight. As this one again, as we suspect.
Maybe when he's kicking into the north end zone, maybe because him kicking in the window a little bit, we'll see. So 1 play left here in the first quarter as Lakeland will come out and have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So after this play, Lakeland will turn the corner and come back south with a little bit more with the wind.
Yeah, you can see even on those 2 completions on the first drive from Hotchkiss to Robinson, the 2 long passes, the ball did get caught up in the wind just a little bit. Otherwise, actually, that first play may have been a touchdown pass, you know, but he got held up just a little bit, and the Plant guy was able to catch back up with Robinson and push him out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Robinson out man-to-man coverage again. Pat Cooper out there on the coverage. Inside handoff Davis. Davis trying to get some positive yards. Makes a nice skip move. There we go. 5-6 yards on first down.
5 yards. His first really positive yardage play of the night for the talented junior tailback. And that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. Your score at Bryant Stadium, Dreadnoughts 7, Panthers 3. We'll take this commercial break and be back with you momentarily.
It's our tailgate clearance at Regal Lakeland, Central Florida's largest used car dealer. Go to RegalLakeland.com to see all our vehicles, all at wholesale prices. Over 500 vehicles, all makes, including our pre-auction units. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on all Regal certified vehicles. If you just want to sell your car, we're the #1 Kelley Blue Book dealer. Credit specialist on site for any situation. All confidential. Only at the 2 locations of Regal Lakeland, your family store.
Welcome back to Bryant Stadium and the second round of the FHSAA High School Playoffs, 7A. Plant Panthers, Lakeland Dreadnoughts. Some fantastic defense tonight so far, among a few offensive highlights for us.
That drive there by the Panthers, it was kind of like Groundhog Day. You know, first down, no yards, maybe lose yards. First, second long, then you use third and long. Then they would either convert it or get close enough and then convert on 4th down. And they had penalties. There became penalties. It's kind of a very interesting drive. You don't see drives that long, you know, very often. So basically, each team had a drive the first quarter, and Lakeland was able to hit pay dirt while the Panthers had to settle for a field goal. After James Robinson really made the Panthers pay on that first drive for having single coverage on him, we'll be interesting to see if they shade a safety over towards him, or maybe even try to double team him, in which case that should open up the field maybe for Tariq Young, or also opening up some more running room for Davis.
All right, now they're sticking Pat Cooper man-to-man with Robinson. Probably their best cover man, I would assume. 2nd down and 5 after the first 5-yard pickup by Davis. And we haven't seen Allen get the ball tonight. You know, maybe this tough defensive line calls for more of a bruiser type running back. I don't think he's even tried tonight.
I was just thinking about that, Tim. There might be time to try to give one of those quick handoffs to Allen, see if he can burst by the defensive line.
If you can just break through that line quicker. 3rd and 5, no gain on 2nd down, Davis.
After the defense was on the field for such a long time, it would be nice if Lakeland can at least get a couple of first downs in this drive, even if they don't get points. Once again, single coverage on James Robinson.
Man in motion and lots of movement all over the place. Of course, everyone's saying it's the other guy. I think Lakeland actually moved first, just by a hair.
It is a false start on Lakeland, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 now.
Lakeland on the hands of Robinson has been pretty good about picking up these 3rd downs. Third down and 10. Hotchkiss back in the shotgun. Davis in motion in the near side. Low snap. No panic there, and nearly picked off. You know,
you had too many people that was too congested.
yeah.
I don't think that's the way the play was designed. Robinson had basically inside position on his guy, and once again they had single coverage on him. And if he makes that catch, he might have been off for the races.
Well, Hotchkiss panicked a little bit too there, Jeff. You know, he had a bad snap, and
yeah.
then he thought he had to, I think, throw it a little quicker. If he would have let his receiver, one of them, release just a little bit, as you said, I think he would have had a big play there. But now we saw some punting woes last week for the Knots.
Was, guarding the slot guy.
So we had McDonald last week punting and having some issues. This week, Knots
a little bit better.
There is a flag, but we didn't. That ball come back because we didn't allow enough room for the punter to get the ball.
Unfortunately, Kelvin Broom is taking a victory lap for no reason, as there is a flag on the play, and they're going to get Lakeland for the halo infraction, not allowing the Plant player to catch the ball. So Plant's going to have pretty good field position here.
Did he call fair catch?
But even if he didn't call for a catch, I think you still have to allow him to catch the ball. Then once he catches it, you can hit him. Although they're all talking about it, but I don't see how they pick this flag up. I know that all the fans are booing here at Bryant Stadium, but to me, that's the right call. I don't see how you get around that.
Yep.
I know some people are probably thinking he never called fair catch, but my understanding is whether he calls fair catch or not, you still have to give him a chance to catch the ball. Once he catches it, then you can hit him. I guess maybe some people might feel like they're booing, might feel like the ball got there at the same time as the player, and maybe the Lakeland player did have it timed as close. Maybe the Lakeland player had it timed just perfectly, but you know that's the only argument you'd have as a Lakeland fan, is that he timed it just perfectly and he got there at the same time as the ball, and because there was not a fair catch called, then that should be allowed, but it was close. So a 5-yard penalty, so Plant's gonna have the ball at their own 48-yard line to start this drive. Great field position for the Panthers.
The defense, Jeff, on the field an awful long time here in that first quarter, and now back on the field again on a 3 and out by the Lakeland offense. Chain gang out of position. Franson, though, ready. Filior, inside handoff, skipping around, somehow dancing his way for 3 or 4 yards. We should have had him back there at the line of scrimmage, and he snuck in to get a few positive yards.
4 yards, yeah. Pretty good play there for first down. He's 2nd and 6 now, as he went from the 48 to the 48. I mean, fortunately, it's early in the game, so Lakeland's defense shouldn't be too tired. And I would be a little more concerned if it was like in the fourth quarter, maybe after, short 3 and out after a long drive. But they should be able to muster up the energy here to deal with this Panther offense.
Setting up a little bit of a screen to Filior, breaks a bunch of tackles, spins around, and then gets hit. Ball comes out late. They got rattled up top, and that ball came flying out, but recovered by the Panthers.
Yeah, so it's still going to be Plant ball. Filior, like you said, broke a couple tackles there, and Lakeland can't get caught in the trap. Although they've already had some big hits tonight, get caught in the trap of always going for the big hit. You just got to wrap up and get these guys down. Really on that play, on that first drive, Hampton got hurt a little bit. He was going for the big hit. Fortunately, Lawrence was able to clean it up.
Franson just gutted it right up the heart of the defense and picked up 3 or 4 yards.
That's a big Avery Edward made the stop along with Jaquan Lawrence, and Kieran Spites also involved there in the tackle, but not before Franson got about 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 7.
9:36 remaining in the first half. Franson 4 yards deep, set, trying to get his team the lead for the first time tonight. It'll be 2 yards short of the first down, just shy of the 25.
Ankle tackle there, I think maybe by Spites again.
61 checks back in, Alex
That's Marquise Green.
Edward. Oh, that's Marquise
Remember
Green.
he
That's right.
switched,
Sorry, switched numbers.
Switched numbers. Yeah, this is a really interesting game too, Tim. These are two teams that are very balanced. They both have good offenses. They both have good defenses. And an offense, they both can run and they can pass. It's really two heavyweights here tonight, Tim, duking it out here, as it should be in the second round of the playoffs.
3rd and 3. Dreadnought defense came up big here in that first drive. Fake handoff, quarterback keeper gets smushed and then falls forward on his second effort, got the first down.
They had him stopped. And Franson, not a very tall player at all, but kind of stocky and got some power there.
Wow, that was impressive.
As you see the bald-headed Coach Wiener there giving the play to Franson. Yeah, once again, we were unable to wrap him up on the first hit, and he fell forward and got the first down.
Usually you see those quarterbacks fold on that first hit, but Franson kept the legs churning. A lot of shifts going on with the offense tonight. A lot of looks. Phil Yor way out on his own. Flag here from the side judge.
Minimal gain there. Nice job by the Dreadnought defense. Tripping up, I think that was Keaton Baldwin on the handoff. Well, he's pointing towards Plant, and it is a false start against the Panthers. So we'll take that penalty, be 1st and 15.
Mentioned the not defense. It's early in the game here, so they shouldn't be tired, but I still think when you don't get those breaks in there, it starts to wear on you a little bit, and they've been going solid now for about 16 minutes, 15 minutes. First and 15 on the false start. Franson with a trip set back. Only one man out. And they do a sweep to number 6.
There you go.
It's a good looking play.
That's
right
how
there.
you wrap him up. A big hit is not always necessary. Great job by Torrin Hampton wrapping up Keaton Baldwin on his lower leg and getting him down for a loss on that play. Loss of about 4 yards in the play. It will be 2nd and 19 now.
Looks like Torian's watching game film or something this week. He's kind of knowing what's going on.
As you said, I think we have 2 number 8s out there tonight.
2nd 19, roll out Franson. Franson gets some pressure. Now he's going to skip around. He makes a bad decision to go one way, and then he's going to get caught and brought down. He's not going to escape that time. Good job, defense.
Aquarius Longs making it 3rd and long for the Panthers. Nice tackle there by Aquarius.
You know, only Franson's little hiccups tonight is that, when it's
that would count as a sack there. It's at the 31-yard line, so loss of 1, 3rd and 20 now.
I guess he has confidence in himself, Jeff, but maybe instead of throwing the ball away a couple times, he's losing 6, 7, 8, 10 yards on some of those sacks, those coverage sacks.
I mean, Plant is clearly more reliant on the run than the pass. If Lakeland can get up by a couple scores, so they're going to struggle trying to catch up.
3rd and 20 now. Plant going backwards. Fake handoff, looking at a slant pattern again. The quarterback going to take off and takes a hit. 2 yards in at the 27-28. He took a helmet-to-helmet shot.
On that tackle for the Dreadnought. So it would be a 47-yard field goal. Does Coach Wiener send out his prize kicker, Stephen Yaffe? And is he going to send out the punter? No, he's going to attempt a 47-yard field goal.
Against the wind.
Our guy up here, the Plant cameraman, says he's usually good from 45. So let's see if he can convert, as you said, into the wind from 47 yards. Be wary of a fake here as well. Although with his leg, I think they'll definitely attempt the kick.
He's got that flag swirling at him, and it gets down. Yeah, it's going to be
not going to make it.
Off to the right. Yeah, just enough on it, but Dreadnought's hold.
I think it was just short too. I think
he had enough there, close, just off to the right side.
Close, yeah.
Huge cheer by the Dreadnought fans for an incredible defensive stand once again.
Dreadnought defense tonight, Tim, showing a little bend but don't break. And with the Panthers' inability to generate any big plays in the passing game, I think you're going to see this throughout the night. Some longer drives by the Panthers, pick up a few first downs, but I think they're going to struggle getting the ball into the end zone tonight, Tim Conti. And let's take a commercial break here as we have our second quarter water break.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
Welcome back again to Bryant Stadium. You see the press box there. We are at the very top. There I am waving the hand. So they're zooming in at the Eric Murray press box high above Bryant Stadium. We can see all the cameras tonight giving you the signal. Just talking to Jeff Goddard, of course, Emily Dunson in Washington tonight, so not with us. And Jeff will try to head down at halftime to see if he can get an interview or two. Not sure if we're going to have a halftime interview yet. That's what we're trying to put together. With the TV timeout, it's extended water break here at Bryant Stadium. The Dreadnought defense, the last two drives, has been impressive.
I'll get down and see if I can either get Marcus or Banner. Sounds good, thanks. Want to give a shout out to, once again, thank you to Arroyo for sponsoring the game, and a shout out to Diane Sliker, who's at home watching the game on the webcast tonight. Was unable to make it. We appreciate you tuning in and watching and supporting the Dreadnoughts tonight. And once again, thanks for Arroyo Process Equipment sponsoring tonight's telecast.
Bright House giving the refs the okay. Get things cranked back up here at Bryant Stadium. The Dreadnoughts holding to a slim lead, 7-3, and wow, what a shot.
You have to give a lot of credit to this Panther defense. It's not very often you see A.J. Davis bottle up like they've been able to do so far here in the first half. Of course, the offensive line, I guess it's fair to say, struggled a little bit opening up holes in the run game. They've given Hotchkiss the 3 or 4 passes, I guess actually 5 passes that Hotchkiss has thrown tonight. They've done a good job pass blocking, but struggling a little bit in terms of run blocking.
Davis split out wide this time, along with Young and Robinson to the near side. Xavier Allen stays back to block. Hotchkiss on a 2nd down and 13 sends Tariq Young across the inside. Quick slant pattern out to the 20. And about 3 yards there on 2nd down, 3rd down and long.
Pat Cooper, the cornerback for the Panthers, had coverage on Robinson there and did a good job of bringing him to the ground as soon as he caught the ball. So it's going to be 3rd and 8 here after a short gain for the Dreadnoughts.
They've had Pat man-to-man with Robinson all game, and he definitely has his hands full. 3rd and 8, big 3rd down, and we'd like to keep our offense on the field a little bit longer here.
With the wind
3 and out last time.
I would think they might try to go deep again for Robinson.
Young again. And timeout called by Coach Bill Castle. Robinson not seeing something he liked either, talking things over on a critical 3rd down and 8.
Although that time it looked like maybe number 4, Scoop Bradshaw, was in position to help out Cooper there on the coverage on Robinson. So Coach Castle calls timeout, and Lakeland have a chance to think about what play they're going to call here on this key 3rd and 8. It'd be nice to get first down and keep this drive alive, give the defense a little bit more of a rest, as of course the Panthers will get the ball to start the second half as well.
Bruising defensive line for the Panthers. They have really gotten after it. They are keying on that snap of the ball, and they are firing and not giving Davis any lanes whatsoever. You know, Davis needs that kind of first step and makes those good skip moves, but he's not even able to get to that second step to be able to make a move. Only touchdown, of course, coming from the fine first offensive drive. 3 pass plays to Robinson. Scooted all the way downfield. 3rd and 8, Tariq Young. Hotchkiss has it, 2 steps back, pump fake. Now they're going deep to Robinson over the top. He's going to be a little bit long. 3 men on the coverage, number 31, of course, there, and also number 4.
They did shade number 4, Bradshaw, over there, and even with that, Robinson still had a step on both of them, and the ball was just slightly overthrown. Otherwise, that would have been another big pass play for James Robinson.
Interesting call, though. We've connected on that deep ball fairly effectively, high ratio of the past several games, but on a 3rd down and 8, they went for it. You know, hard to say if the wind, that wind would have not been there if that wouldn't have been a perfect pass play. Hotchkiss getting some air under it, giving his receiver a chance, but
now that they're starting to key a little bit on Robinson, it might be time in the next drive to try to hook up with Tariq Young.
We had our punting woes last week, and nice special teams tackle right there by number 24, who came from the outside on a speedy play, Demetric McNair.
Solid play there.
One good point that Mike just brought up is Demetric McNair is hard of hearing. As a matter of fact,
hearing
deaf,
impaired.
Pretty much hearing impaired. And
sometimes you might notice in the sideline there's a sign language interpreter for Demetric. Great play there by Demetric McNair.
Gotta love not letting it stop.
So for the 2nd time in a row, the Panthers will start in good field position at their own 48-yard line. Exact same starting spot as the last drive.
Just under 4 minutes here, 2nd quarter. Franson took some good shots now under center in the last drive. Was forced to keep the ball and run, took a helmet-to-helmet whammo on the better part. Look at number 6 skipping his way, but finally caught up. That's Baldwin Keaton, who got brought down. They're going to give him forward progress at about the 50-yard line.
2-yard gain. Once again, a nice tackle by Jaquarius Smith, who's had quite a good first half, along with Torian Hampton really standing out on defense, but really the entire Dreadnought defense has done a good job so far tonight.
Number 5 checking in, Michael Murphy. And Baldwin Keaton checking out for the Panthers. Number 1, Phil Yor. Number 4, Bradshaw, Scoot Bradshaw, set to the far side. Tight coverage up front. Franson rolling out right side, looking, still on the run, spreading out. Now he's going to have to make a decision, and he throws a bad pass, ill-advised, pickoff, nuts. Going the other direction. That away, baby. That's huge.
Jaquarius Smith.
Turnover.
Having a huge first half. The interception for the linebacker.
Franson with a poor decision there. He just kept getting strung along, and then didn't get near enough on that ball. And his receiver just not in a good position. And obviously our defender was turned back to the ball and made the interception.
And with 3:01 to go here in the first half, it'd be nice if Lakeland can take advantage of that turnover and get some points here before the half, as the Panthers will get the opening kickoff in the 3rd quarter.
Lakeland offense needs a little bit of that fast-paced momentum to get things going. Xavier Allen back there with Davis.
Now you see Tariq Young out here, wide right in single coverage.
Need to
Let's
see
if they look his
Tariq
way.
get in the mix. Allen yet to get the ball. Pump fake Tariq Young, and now he's going to go to the outside and a little bit overthrown. Good call. We kind of all had that feeling Tariq was going to get a shot there.
I think Hotchkiss is having a problem adjusting and throwing with the wind at his back, as his last couple of balls have been too long.
Well, that's interesting, though, because you said the couple he threw on that prior series where he was against the wind, they kind of got held up a little bit, and he noticed he was a little short, so now he's put a little bit extra into it. Now he just has to go on his instinct and throw it regularly, not try to put a little extra on it. Robinson out here again with extra help, number 4.
And now they're clearly starting to shade the safety over here on Robinson.
Davis, good fake, nice blocking, but there's a flag on the play. Interesting.
3-yard pass completion to Xavier Allen, but it's a penalty against the Dreadnoughts, so it will not count.
Fullback pass, first time we've seen the fullback get a
there, I believe, was the call.
Pass out of the backfield in quite some time. That's the first time Allen's touched the ball tonight as well.
It'd be interesting to see if they might decline this penalty and make it 3rd and 8. But they will not. They'll accept it, so it'll be 2nd and 13 now. Which, honestly, I'm a little surprised they gave Lakeland the extra down there. I think I would have been tempted to decline that if I was Plant.
Allen came off limping as well. We've seen him for a big man be fleet of foot and some high stepping and moving those feet continuously, but he got hit low there. And his ankle got turned a little bit. They're going to work on him here on the sideline. 2nd down 15, 2:47 remaining second quarter. Knots would desperately like to put some more points on the board in this first half. Young, bad snap, but that might be a blessing in disguise with a penalty there.
I spoke wrong. It was not 2nd and 13, 2nd and 15, because obviously the 2-yard gain to Allen didn't count. False start to call this time, and we're moving the wrong direction, folks, as it's 2nd and 20 now.
We were a little bit surprised, Jeff. We thought this was going to be maybe more like the kind of game we're going to get the last few weeks in a defensive battle a little bit. Certainly with Kathleen, remember you said, I expect kind of a low-scoring ball game. We'd have putting up a big number, but
maybe we're getting that contest tonight.
This is much different here.
7 points, stand up and win this game.
2:46 remaining. It looks like that may stand in the first half right now. Young gets a sweep. They're just trying to get him some room. And he's cutting back now, still on his feet at the 26-yard line.
I had a feeling we were about to see a running play to Tariq Young, trying to get something outside as the runs inside have not worked so far with Davison. And he did get a few yards there, but not much.
Still 3rd and what it looks like 16 or so.
The 26, we got to get to their 42. Yeah, so you got about 5 yards or so, I guess, on that play. 3rd and 16.
Robinson split out Davis on the far side. Hotchkiss checking off to Davis. He's going to take a few adjustment steps back towards the line.
Got 2 safeties back deep. They might just have to check something off and see if you can get some yards after the catch.
Rolling out right now, back left. Nice job of setting up the screen, but unfortunately the first move of the receiver was back to the middle of the field, wrong direction. Should have headed to the sideline.
Tight end Branson Brown unable to get anything going on that screen there. Down to 1:38 to go here in the first half.
Branson making a nice
have to punt.
Contribution last week, making a good
Plant
reception.
Calls timeout to stop the clock, so they're going to try to get some more points here. I'm sure they would love to at least get a field goal attempt off. Nothing else.
Branson maybe a bit of, I'm not going to say immaturity, but a lack of experience. Maybe they're cutting back to the middle of the field after he caught the ball rather than turning to the outside. Pretty decent job after the kind of the debacle last week of punting.
Nice
Sean
job,
Stewart.
Nice to have him back.
Number 97 has been called to punt, and with the Panthers with 1:38, looks like they're going to get their 3rd good starting field position in the second quarter. Well handled. Oh, that's a nice one.
Punt.
Driving punt over the head. What a good kick there. It's also going to take a bounce down inside, out of bounds, even better, at the 20. Fantastic punt by 97.
That's a 55-yard punt by Sean Stewart. And we'll have to see if Coach Wiener really tries to go for it here, if he might decide just to kind of go conservative now that he's all the way back at his own 20-yard line. Because obviously if they would have a turnover, then you give Lakeland, obviously a chance, to do something.
So the Knots not able to capitalize on the interception, the first turnover of the ball game. I didn't say anything earlier. I had a feeling that this game was actually going to be, the outcome was going to be fairly heavily determined or heavily influenced, let's say, by a turnover late in this ball game. I don't know, I'm putting on the Swami hat. I don't know if that will hold true or not. Don't know which direction, but we'll see if that holds up. 125, handoff right side. Nice stop, Knotts at the 21.
Yeah, I think Coach Maynard rethought his strategy there after Shashawn Stewart uncorked a massive punt for the Dreadnoughts.
It's a big weapon. Jeff Goddard's going to head down to the sideline for a couple of interviews at halftime with 1 minute left remaining in the first half. We'll take you home here in the first half. 54 seconds on the clock. Franson, 3 wide receivers out to the far side, 1 to the near side. Spread man-to-man coverage across the field. Franson, inside handoff to number 6. Baldwin Keaton picks up a few to the outside. Kelvin Broom with the stop. That real-time information, the offense over here taking a look at some film. Again, not being able to turn that interception into any points here in the waning stages of the first half of the ball play. They're letting the clock run. Franson may have this last play here to get out of here down 4 points. They do get the ball first in the second half. Handoff again. Coach Weiner not wanting to take a chance here in their side of the field. And that's how the first half will come to an end. One of the lowest scoring few quarters we've seen here at Bryant Stadium. The old box of chocolates, not sure what you're going to get here at Bryant Stadium, certainly in the second round of the playoffs. A defensive battle, except for that. It was like the firework big display that's normally set for the end was in the first series for the Knots, with Robinson again on 3 consecutive receptions, all for more than 15 yards. And then just not much since from either side. Some penalties and 1 turnover thrown in the mix. Both squads, though, still kind of fighting to establish themselves. As you see, the Knots going into halftime. The Anchorettes on the field. Let's go ahead and take a quick timeout. We'll be right back, hopefully to get you some interviews down on the field with Jeff Goddard. Dreadnoughts lead 7-3 here in the second round of the playoffs. Stay with us.
Tailgate clearance at Regal Lakeland, Central Florida's largest used car dealer. Go to RegalLakeland.com to see all our vehicles, all at wholesale prices. Over 500 vehicles, all makes, including our pre-auction units. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on all Regal certified vehicles. If you just want to sell your car, we're the #1 Kelly Blue Book dealer. Credit specialist on site for any situation. All confidential. Only at the 2 locations of Regal Lakeland, your family store.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
In my profession, we meet a lot of people who are going through a lot of losses and harms, and people who have lost loved ones, lost children, losing their house, losing their car. And it really wears on you sometimes. But I can tell you that it also drives you. It really pushes you to want to protect them. When we help clients, we can't always fix all their problems, but we do our very best to help them through their problems.
County High School juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 23rd Annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
The new 2016s are in, and the 15s have got to go. It's our fall kickoff event at Regal Kia, serving this community for over 39 years. Sold, drive today for $119 a month. Optima discounts up to $12,500. Come in, test drive, and get a Florida lottery ticket, a chance to win the $10,000 bowl game trip, or a new Kia. Score big with us. It's the fall kickoff event at Regal Kia, serving Lakeland since 1976.
Sal says yes, you pay less.
Jeff Goddard back with you here at halftime, the Harry Seafood halftime show. Lakeland up over Plant 7-3. It's my pleasure to be joined tonight by the principal of Lakeland High School, Mr. Art Mark.
Thank you, Jeff. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for joining us tonight. Give us your thoughts on the first half so far of this football game.
Tell you what, it's really kind of a tight game. I'm actually kind of surprised we're not able to run the ball. They're stuffing us up the middle, which is surprising to me at this point. But, if we can get up in the air, maybe open it up a little bit, maybe the ground game will kind of kick into the second half. We just got to hold them. Defense is doing extremely well. If we can just hold them when they opening drive when they come out, I think, and just kind of sustain a drive, I think we might be okay.
It's not very often you see A.J. Davis bottled up like this. Plant defense isn't able to do that, but they have a very talented defensive line. And Coach Arbor told me last night that this defense makes you fight for every inch, and we're certainly seeing that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, A.J., I think I'm hoping he'll just break one out loose. I mean, if he gets out on the outside one time, he's gone. But it's just a matter of getting that crease and going forward. We just got offensive line just got to open up a gap real quick and see what happens. I
saw Coach Farkas down there on the sideline right before the half, really kind of lighting into his troops and imploring them to play better. They've done a good job of pass blocking so far, but they have not been able to really open up any holes in the run game.
Yeah, and then we missed a couple of deep ones towards here at the end of the half, and it could have opened it up for us a little bit more. But we'll see what we do, what kind of changes we do at halftime, and adjustments, and we'll see how we come out.
We connected on a couple of deep balls on that first drive, and if we could have gotten one more deep on that, the drive a couple of drives ago, 14-3 lead would have been huge. But nonetheless,
absolutely,
this has the feel of one of those heavyweight games, a game between two heavyweight kind of champions and a defensive struggle. We thought maybe we'd see that against Kathleen a couple of weeks ago, but that ended up being more of an offensive game.
Absolutely.
But tonight is going to be a game the teens, I think, at the most will win.
Well, I think the wind's got a little bit to play with it in the first half or first quarter. We were actually going into the wind. The ball held up a little bit. Second quarter, the wind's in front, with us, and I think he kind of just, put a little bit more mustard into it.
It's hard for a young quarterback to gauge the wind and know when to let up a little bit and when to.
We'll see. We'll see how he does the second half. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, regardless of what we do offensively. I think they've got a tremendous defense. We have a tremendous defense, and it's just going to be a battle through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and if we could maybe get one more touchdown and get a double-digit lead, where they're looking like tonight, they're really struggling passing the ball. I would think Lakeland would be in a really good position if we can extend this lead.
That would be nice. If we can kind of shut them down in the first drive when they come out and get the ball back and just sustain a drive and score, I think we'll be okay.
Now, Mr. Martinez, you've been at Lakeland now. Is this your second full year, so 2.5 years kind of?
Starting January will be 2 years,
okay.
Full 2 years. It's going extremely well. We just got a great support staff there, and it's just a wonderful place to be.
Of course, you came over from Fort Meade after several years there.
I was there 6.5 years, and Fort Meade really has served me well as a principal when I was there, and I certainly appreciate it. I think it's been wonderful for me, the transition into Lakeland High School.
Describe a little bit the difference between being in a smaller community like Fort Meade with only high school there in town, and even I think don't they have middle school and high school combined?
We do.
Right? Yeah. Versus being at Lakeland
is
with like 5 high schools.
6 through 12, so you really get to know the kids all through, about 100 per class. Lakeland High School, we just have a diverse group of individuals there, and we have an influx of kids moving in and out frequently. We may have 10 or 15, new students coming in, and maybe 5 or 6, withdrawing
on a weekly basis.
Wow. So it's really
It's tough on our teachers, I think, transferring back and forth and who's there, who's not.
And about how many students does Lakeland have now?
Right now, I think we're over 1,600, but collectively with Harrison, with our 600, we're roughly about 2,200, probably a little bit over 2,200.
I know you're a big supporter of athletics. I know you played for Coach Hassel.
I did.
And everything. I think you played baseball too, correct?
I did.
Okay. So talk a little bit about, now as an administrator, the role you view athletics playing in a high school.
Oh, there's no question. I think it's athletics, in my opinion, collectively with your academics and really the core people that you hang around with, whether it be your peers, your students, the adults that are coaching you. It really kind of molds you into the person that you're going to be down the road. And then you really got to kind of sit back and look at it, if you can, as a student. And if you can take all the things in that the adults are telling you, and really to kind of do it in a positive way, I think it just makes you a little bit, or it makes you mature a little bit faster. But I think there's no question in my mind that athletics plays a major part in kids' lives, and that's really the driving force academically too.
And talk a little bit about Coach Castle, who's rapidly approaching 400 wins and be the head coach next year. I think it would be his 40th year as the head coach here at Lakeland. Talk a little bit about really the living legend that he is and the job he's done and what he really means to Lakeland High School.
Well, I don't know if we can describe in words what he means to Lakeland High School. He is just a tremendous, just a tremendous coach, but as an individual, as a person, as a husband. And I just think, we're just so very blessed to have him. And all of our former players that have played under him have really been blessed to be a part of his regime. And I was very blessed to actually coach with him for a number of years prior to coming back and working with him. And, it's just a great place to be. You've got a legendary coach that just, lives football. And I think he looks for the next game, or the game at hand, and then he forgets about it and he goes to the next game. And I think that's what makes the success that he's had for years.
So if you're here for, Lakeland for a nice tenure, you might have perhaps an unenviable task of replacing Coach Castle when he does decide to hang it up. What kind of monumental task will that be?
Well, I think we're going to wait and see what happens. He
might outlast you. Who knows?
He may. He's outlasted many principals. So, it's neat to be with him. And when I first came over, I said, Coach, as long as I'm here, as long as you want to be here, you're here. And it's just the respect I have for him, the admiration. He's just a tremendous individual. He's great for kids. He's great for the program, great for the school.
Chief Giddens, the new police chief for Lakeland, was at the Booster Club and had some very nice words and kind words to say about Coach Castle.
And Chief Giddens and I, we played for Coach Castle together. We graduated together in 1982, and we were just.
I did not know that.
So we've known each other for a number of years, and it's just one of those things that. You're glad that you see all these people that have matured, have grown up, and have really stayed in Lakeland and been successful. And I think Chief Giddens has done a tremendous job, and he'll continue to serve Lakeland. And I think a lot of that has to do with the upbringing, the coaches,
sure.
the academics, and all those things of Lakeland High School.
Thank you so much for being my guest tonight on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show. The principal of Lakeland High School, Mr. Art Martinez.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
And we'll take a commercial break and be back with you momentarily as the Harry Seafood Halftime Show rolls on.
Hey yo! Ooh-wee! Hey yo! Ooh-wee! We all we got! We all we need! 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 We all we got! We all we need!
Back here at Bryant Stadium, you can see some youngins stretching their legs out a little bit. Passing the ball around here. A treat to be on the fine-looking AstroTurf here at Bryant Stadium. 7-3 your score. Nice interview with the principal. Back up here at the press box. Thanks for joining us. Not a lot of highlights. I'm sure Jeff may have even talked about them with the quarter, or rather with the principal. But of course, that first drive was really what we had going for us, and Robinson carried us that first drive and tacked on 7. But the points have been hard to come by since then, and the Knots have struggled a little bit, certainly on offense, as we continue with our Harry's Seafood halftime show. We'd like to thank Harry's for their incredible sponsorship and patronage throughout this season. And, of course, Harry's in downtown Lakeland. I first was up in the Jacksonville area and got to go to Harry's the first time, and I remember how excited I was when I heard it was coming to Lakeland, and enjoy going there on a regular basis. And can't beat some of the Louisiana cuisine they got there and the atmosphere at Harry's downtown Lakeland. So we'd like to thank them, as well as all of our sponsors. You saw before we got back to Jeff in the interview, host of the commercials, and yeah, those are the guys that put that extra step forward and say, hey, we're going to sponsor Lakeland High School. We believe in the program, and we thank them again on the webcast, as well as all of you. You know, I just get a joy out of hearing the comments. I'll get a phone call or someone that I haven't talked to forever. I'll get a text on my cell phone saying, hey, we were watching last week. You know, we enjoyed getting around the computer and all sitting down and cheering for the Knots, and that's why we do this. And I know I just kind of show up and do the broadcast, but a lot of people behind the scenes, of course, Michael Barrett and the team, Bob, everyone, the staff is incredible about showing up here each and every week to bring you the live webcast. So, again, thanks to Bright House as well for allowing us to kind of bring you this broadcast this evening. And just so happens, again, some of their equipment didn't quite cooperate with them, so we were able to bring it to you here, and we've enjoyed doing so. And packed house here, so to speak, not only on the Dreadnought side, but as well up in the press box, as you see the teams now back onto the field, particularly the Panthers warming up. And it remains to be seen if this score of 7-3, what this is going to look like at the end of the game. Right now, a very low-scoring ball game. Dreadnought defense playing tremendously. Torian Hampton among a few that has kind of led the defense thus far. And I don't know what's gotten into Torian. He's really had like that extra step, it seems like, an extra step of quickness getting to the ball. Has been able to really lay some big hits on. He, of course, went down with an injury, being so aggressive and knocking one of the players down. He knocked himself a little bit loopy as the Knots coming back onto Bill Castle Field. As we are in the waning moments of the Harry's Seafood halftime show. As Bob just kicked the monitor down, so I don't know if I'm back on or not. And we're back up in the press box, getting ready to bring you the second half action in the second round of the FHSAA High School 7A Road to the state championship game. Again, next week there is that scenario. We haven't gotten the scores yet that we potentially could be back here at Bryant Stadium next week. A couple things have to happen, so we'll try to get you that news as we progress through the third and fourth quarters. And it is dependent on another score. As you see Coach Bill Castle marching the north end zone. An amazing coach and leader and community asset, I guess you would say, amongst other things, as you can see him talking to Xavier Allen, who's still kind of gimpy on that ankle. He has it heavily taped. You can see that left ankle. And he only touched the ball, I believe, one time tonight. And the one time he's touched the ball, someone came in to kind of side swipe him, and one of the defenders undercut him a little bit, and he rolled up that ankle. So it's a lot of weight to be supporting on those toothpicks there. So What kind of adjustments did Coach Castle make at halftime on his offense? It'll be interesting to see with A.J. Davis, who has been averaging nearly 200 yards a game and certainly throughout the season, 7.5 yards per carry. Of course, he's not anywhere near that tonight in his attempts. He started off the game in the hole. I think he was negative 5 or 6 yards for the ball game, and then had a couple runs of 5 or 6 yards, but probably doesn't have more than 15, 20 yards on the game tonight, which again, not only far below his yards per game, but his average per carry has suffered tonight somewhat. As you can see so far, the star on offense, Robinson, who's carried the load, and Hotchkiss warming up the arm. Not that Holden didn't have his opportunities in the first half. We had a couple of times when both Robinson and once when Tariq Young had some separation on their defenders, and Hotchkiss put a little bit too much air under the ball. It'd be interesting to talk to him after the game to see if, in fact, when they switch sides or go with the wind, if that has an impact on how the ball carries. That breeze picking up as over the next day or so, we're going to usher in the first really cool air of the season, of the fall season. Hard to believe here getting to past mid-November, and the last couple of weeks have just been as wet and muggy as August or September. As we're finishing up our Harry's Seafood halftime, and we're about ready to get back under action here at Bryant Stadium. I'm going to turn around and get ready to bring you all the action. Jeff's just taking a quick break. He'll be joining us back here momentarily. Fresh 12 minutes up on the clock. As you see Ski trying to bolster a little energy from the Dreadnought crowd. Muster up a little hype. Heard the Dreadnoughts get really loud tonight on one of the defensive stands. What will be the outcome? 7-3 right now. Mackenzie McDonald with the win sends it back to the 1-yard line, and it is good. It's returnable and bunched up there at the 10 and driven back inside the 8, but they're going to mark forward progress right at the 10-yard line. Nice special teams coverage. Welcome back, Mr. Goddard.
Thank you, sir. The kickoff coverage has been very stout tonight for the Dreadnoughts. I got some more intel on the Plant team from our friendly Plant cameraman up here. He was telling me that this has kind of been the MO for Coach Wiener all year, with running the football about 75% of the time in the first half, but then a lot of times typically they throw the ball more in the second half. So that'd be interesting to see if that transpires tonight or not.
Interesting. Number 81 set out wide. Matt Hessen. Send a man in motion to go straight up the middle, and again, Dreadnoughts typical.
Avery Edward, big number 99 tonight instead of his normal 74, with a big stop there on first down. Always a pleasure to hear from the fine Lakeland principal, Mr. Art Martinez. You know, I tried to get an interview with Coach Farkas there.
They were tearing off the field, weren't they?
Coach Farkas, I think, was not very happy with the play of the offensive line in the first half. I do not think he was in a mood to be interviewed on camera.
He wanted to get in and do some coaching. 2nd down 7.
Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Farkas, I know you're watching. I tried to get your son some camera time so you guys could see him.
Tight end switch sides for Panthers, sweep play. The same number 6 who does a nice little skip move. He had a mat back at the backfield, but he picks up a few yards there, and that'll be 3rd down and around 5. Danquarius Long slicing through the defensive line to make the tackle. Dane Franson, still your quarterback, 5 yards deep on a 3rd and 5, man inside motion. And Franson rolls out left side. Franson looking, men covered well, and he's going to launch one back to the middle. Whoa, that one was a difficult pass for a right-hander as he tried to go across his body and pick up.
It's a dangerous pass, too, as he threw in the congested coverage there. And lucky that ball did not get picked off is Mr. Franson.
That's one of the ones I was hoping for, Jeff. We need one of those be brought back for a touchdown. I'm still waiting for my pick 6 on the season.
And Plant is having the punt from the shadow of the south end zone into the wind, so Lakeland should get the ball in pretty good shape here.
And there's a penalty on the play, some movement, I think, on the Plant side. That'll push him back another 5 yards, I think, Mr. Goddard.
Yeah.
Ball start.
Now he will probably be in the end zone as he punts this ball. Got some unfortunate news. We've got an update here that Vieira is up on the half 40-3 against Martin County.
Oh, boy.
So if Lakeland is fortunate enough to win this game tonight, looks like they'll be on the road next week in Melbourne for the regional final matchup.
Of course, in the regional semifinal here, the second game of the playoffs, second round, hosting the first 2 playoff games.
That's
some
another
movement again, false start. Not too much they can go back. Tariq Young, I think I'd come up a little bit if I were Tariq. I'd come up a little bit on this one and try to get a running start. If I were playing, I would try to kick this one out of bounds. Probably. I don't think I would give Tariq an opportunity to return this. Remember, we almost had the block.
Point.
You know, we had that penalty, of course, the roughing the kicker.
And if this is any kind of a bad snap, you're looking at a safety or maybe even a touchdown here. He is about 8 yards deep in the end zone.
Big play is
this,
Kelvin Broom sneaking, and they keep spotting him. They say, hey, watch number 7.
Yeah, and that's Yaffe, their field goal career, too, as he is double duty as he also punts.
And 3 men back to block. Looks like a decent snap. We're not going after it. And it's going to be kind of an end. Come up and get that one, Tariq. He's going to let it go just to get good field position. It's going to nestle in just shy of the 40 at the 41. Fantastic field position. And Dreadnoughts with a big stop coming out
as you
in
see
halftime.
Coach Baylor there getting on. I think that's number 33. Is that Alontae Taylor, I believe? As he came way too close to that ball there. Could have been a disaster. No reason to be near that ball at all. As Lakeland's going to have the ball in awesome field position, 1st and 10 at the Plant 40-yard line. I got that score update on the Vieira game from Charlie Hall, one of the former members of the Boost Club, is living up in Michigan but moving back to Florida soon. Thank you for the update, Charlie. And Charlie also says that from what he knows about Vieira, their offense is a lot like Carroll City, which means they pass the ball a lot. So that could be a tough matchup perhaps.
Branson Brown checking back in.
Dreadnoughts are able to advance.
Tight end, man-to-man coverage. Tariq Young, he's going to launch one again. Overthrows Tariq. He caught it out of bounds. What a fantastic grab, although he was out of bounds. Holden Hotchkiss just off the mark now. He's just rushing the throw a little bit, Jeff.
He's struggling throwing the ball with the wind at his back. Normally, quarterbacks struggle throwing the ball into the wind. He's kind of the opposite here tonight. Coach Castle gives him the play call.
Well, he had the coverage he wanted that time. We've been hitting on that deep pass play, and it's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Holden just put too much on it. Robinson goes out wide. Allen with a heavily taped ankle, but Davis gets the call. Now with a hold, Davis, the first hold of the night. Up the middle, Davis is going to score. I don't see a flag. Touchdown, A.J. Davis. That's what we were looking for. Big run play for a TD, A.J. Davis.
40 yards right at the gut. And I tell you one guy who's pretty happy right now, that's Coach Farkas, as that was the best job of run blocking all night by the Dreadnought offensive line. They opened up a big hole for A.J. Davis, who started to the left, cut back to the middle, and had nothing but green turf in front of him.
So maybe it's good that you didn't get the interview. You maybe needed to do a little more coaching there down in the
I think he did his coaching before the half ended. He was really kind of letting into him.
He might have been doing it the whole time.
On the field.
Mackenzie McDonald, of course, every point is valuable. That's a good looking extra point right there. McKenzie just drills it And the Dreadnoughts on top 14-3. A little bit of separation. Now up by 11.
Speaking of Mackenzie McDonald, I was speaking with his mom and stepdad down during halftime, and I was asking his mom if she had seen the interview we did with Mackenzie back early in the year, and she started laughing and said, "Oh yeah, we saw it." That was our favorite interview of the year. And of course,
that's a classic.
We mentioned before, his stepdad is former Dreadnought field goal kicker Brett Talcott, who also kicked for the Gators. And I asked him if he's worked with Mackenzie, and he said he's worked with him a little bit, but hasn't had a chance to do it too much. And his mom was telling me, Monica Hingle Talcott now, but she was actually a high school classmate of mine, and she was telling me that he had never really played football before, and then Zach Federer, when he graduated last year, taught Mackenzie into coming out and kicking. So she said he really doesn't know hardly anything about football. I'd never even really been a football fan before. So that explains some of the comments he made in the interview, you know, as he obviously, you could tell, it's a soccer background, talking about slide tackles and everything.
Mackenzie McDonald set to kick it away again just in the last few minutes. He's had an opportunity. So the ground game getting going here at Bryant Stadium. One through the air and one on the ground, as that is going to be a touchback. Good job, Mr. McDonald, out to the 20. Although with the special teams coverage, it might be okay to let them return it. We've been pinning them inside the 15.
That's a good point. So Lakeland now up 11, you know, 2 scores, 14-3, with the way the Lakeland defense has played tonight. And Plant has struggled in any passing going at all. And really, Plant's had only maybe one kind of what you characterize as a big play, kind of a plodding offense. You have to really feel good right now if you're a Dreadnought fan. But
see what Franson does. Big hole up the middle now. Number 6 gets to the outside. Yeah, he's off and running at the 50. He's going to be stopped. Oh, maybe, as he's still dancing around. We finally catch him and dive him down at the 30-yard line, but a big play.
Number 81 for the Panthers got knocked down to the ground there. Matt Hessen, some of the Plant coaches up here, video people, crying for a foul, but I don't know, Tim, to me that looked like maybe he was trying out for an Oscar. A little bit of acting going on that fall there.
By far the biggest play
from scrimmage tonight.
From scrimmage, as you said that they were going to get active in the passing game, but they just went right back to the ground. And number 6, that's
a
Baldwin
48-yard
Keaton.
run by Keaton Baldwin.
Yeah.
48 yards, that's a big play.
Out wide goes Wop, Fillier. 81 to the near side. Franson in the shotgun. Rolls out right side. He's going to keep it. Oh, Matt Kramer had him from behind and let him go. He couldn't quite get him. He was just.
Kramer wasn't quite there.
Yeah,
but
he had
once
outstretched
again,
arms.
Mr. Torian Hampton making a big play for the Dreadnought defense.
2-yard. This is where the Dreadnought defense has really shown some guts in this game. We've had really, the Panthers have had good field position and have threatened here before, but they've held them to 1 field goal and a long field goal attempt. Let's see if we can match that again. 2nd down 8. 8:53 on the clock, 3rd quarter. Franson rolls out right side, looking deep. He wanted to launch it. He gets hit. Ball's loose. Oh, they're going to say incomplete pass. Hard to say if his hand was moving forward, but they were pretty definitive about that. Now a late flag.
Oh, there's some extracurricular activity going on, and I have a feeling it's going to be against the Dreadnoughts.
That's going to be against the Knots.
Which is unfortunate because it would have been 3rd down. Now it most likely it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Let's see the call here. Oh wait,
offsetting.
Offsetting.
Offset. There we go. That was one of those message penalties.
That's actually a big play. That's still a favorable play for the Panthers because since it's offsetting, that down will not count. It'll be a replay of 2nd down. So then instead of 3rd down, it would be 2nd down now for the Panthers. 2nd and 8. So that actually is a little bit of a break for Plant.
Yeah, and then, again, like I said, that was the ref saying, you know what, it's getting a little chippy. You said, you know, hey, it may not, but
yeah, I may have been wrong on that one.
They're starting to get a little fired up at the end of the plays. 2nd down 8. They had it 3rd on the thing, but you're right, it is fresh set of downs. Number 6 with a lot of room again. A fumble! Ball's on the ground. Dreadnoughts just jump on it. No, I think Panthers got it back, and that's going to be a big play for them with a 1st down. Boy, 2 or 3 knots.
Wow,
We're
big
right
break
there.
for the Plant Panthers there. It will be a first down, a fortuitous play there, really.
Goodness gracious.
Lakeland has forced the only turnover of the game as we have the one interception in the first half by Jaquarius Smith. But right there, the ball was on the turf and Lakeland was unable to come up with it. Now Plant is in the red zone tonight.
It's one of those things, Jeff, where it looks like from this vantage point that the Dreadnoughts try to do a little too much and pick it up rather than just flopping on it. And one of the Panthers.
I don't know, honestly, if any Dreadnought actually ever had a clean chance
hard to say.
To fall on it.
Regardless, fresh set of downs in the red zone for the Panthers. Franson shotgun fakes the hand of quarterback keeper, and he's going to just dive forward to the 15.
I smell another field goal attempt coming, Tim.
We hope. How about a turnover?
Well, back-to-back plays there, we almost had turnovers. We hit Franson as he threw the ball, but it was ruled an incomplete pass instead of a fumble. And then the next play, there was a fumble, but unfortunately, we were not able to corral the ball. Once again, we want to thank Arroyo Process Equipment, who is sponsoring tonight's game and making it possible for us to bring you this playoff matchup between Plant and Lakeland.
Baldwin Keaton checks out. Number 5 comes back in. Michael Murphy to block. Timeout. Rob Wiener wants to talk to his Panthers on
They're
this
down here by
drive.
11, and you would think he'd want to keep his timeouts, but obviously since the importance of trying to get in the end zone here, he calls a timeout. And
Let's
we'll take a
take
commercial
a
break
timeout.
with Lakeland up 14-3.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, Dreadnoughts lead 14-3. Panthers on a very favorable fumble and then recovery, picked up a first down. Certainly could have been a pretty big blow if the Dreadnoughts could have recovered there deep in their own territory, but right now the Knots again trying to hold the Panthers to at best a field goal attempt. Franson, man in motion, looking right. Now looking to pass it over the middle. Picked off! Kelvin Broom at the 9. Kelvin switching directions. There's a flag on the play for some blocking. Just get down, Kelvin. We'll still have the ball, but it's going to be a block, illegal block by the Knots at the 10.
One of the Plant players is down on the field there. He is.
That was a brutal. Did you see that block?
No, I actually did not see it, but he got banged up pretty good.
Holy smokes.
Apparently, by the fact that he's not moving.
He got hammered.
Although I can see his legs moving a little bit, so that's a good sign. Kelvin Broom, one of our impact players on defense during the pregame show tonight, the Agnini Family Dental pregame show. The second interception of the night thrown by Dale Franson. And oddly enough, the linebackers have both interceptions. First Smith and now Broom.
What's interesting, again, mentioning their predominant running team, you can see where Franson's having the problem is that when he's indecisive between running and passing, he feels that pressure, and he's feeling like he has to do something with it. And instead of throwing it away or just taking a sack, he's letting the ball go right into the Dreadnoughts' hands. So a couple ill-advised as the Panther player gets up. Number 60 seems to be okay. That's Bryce Jenkins.
This is probably a good time to remember the fact that he was not supposed to be the starting quarterback this year. Their senior quarterback, Rex Culpepper, got hurt during the summer and is unfortunately missed his entire senior year. And so that certainly has affected the Plant passing game, I'm sure.
So with the penalty on the Knots, unfortunately, we did get the ball, which is great, but it's back at the 5-yard line. And
it's nice to keep the Panthers out of the end zone.
So Davis will be about 4 yards deep in the end zone.
We talked in the pregame show about the need to have some big plays on offense, and both of our touchdowns tonight have come on big plays.
Xavier
Allen, his first carry of the night, and did not go anywhere. They had already blown the play dead before the ball came out.
But you could see in the middle of the pile trying to strip the ball, and Allen is down. I think that same ankle.
And maybe that's why he had not got any carries tonight. It's because of the fact that his ankle was a little bit gimpy.
He seems to be rolling around, not feeling too swanky down there at the north end zone. Injury timeout, 6:50 mark.
Tonight you're watching the 2015 FHSAA Football Region Semifinal contest between Plant High School and Lakeland High School on the Lakeland Football webcast. The rights of this regional semifinal contest have been granted by the FHSAA to the Lakeland Football webcast and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this webcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is in fact prohibited.
I don't know, we said there was some early fireworks. Now there's some real fireworks going on towards the south end zone. They look pretty, those aren't their backyard variety either.
What the occasion is, it's not First Friday because it's the second Friday, or third Friday. I wonder when.
As you can see, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but
yeah, it is, yeah.
Really nice fireworks going on here in the south end zone. Yeah.
I wonder what the special occasion is. It'd be nice if we have like a 95-yard touchdown pass
to go with it.
To go with it, yeah.
Pomp and circumstance. Maybe it's ushering in a great play we're about to see here back on the field with action. Hotchkiss looking to throw it. He's going to get sacked and a safety.
It's a fumble. Run, run! The guy's just standing there. He couldn't.
Yeah, that I don't know. It's hard to say if that was a fumble and he could have actually run. You're right, because the ref was thinking it was a live ball.
I think it was, but fine, the refs blew it dead. I think that was actually George Madden, one of the offensive linemen for Lakeland, picked it up and just kind of stood there, and the refs kind of acted like they didn't know what to do. So I'm not sure if he took off running, if they would allow him to do it or not. Well, I guess maybe, I think he would have recovered it, his knee was down. I guess if he had recovered it with his feet, on the ground, I guess he could have ran, but since he recovered it, I think his knees were on the ground, therefore, I think it would be ruled a safety because of that. So the odds score now of 14-5, Lakeland up by 9, so still a 2-possession lead.
Well, the turnover, you save a point there if they would have gotten a field goal, but take a little time off the clock. They just came after. They brought everything.
And that's really the first time tonight that the Lakeland offensive line has allowed Hotchkiss to get hit at all. But it came at an inopportune time as Plant gets a safety, cutting the 11-point lead to 9. So I think Lakeland's going to choose to kick off as opposed to punt with their free kick. Sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, play fair. This message is provided to the Lakeland Football webcast by the FHSAA.
Well, it appears to be downtown, obviously Lakeland. Lake Mirror, I would think, is where it looks like. And the fireworks still going on.
I wonder what the occasion is.
As McDonald booting this one to the 18-yard line. They're setting up a return, and up the middle, number 1 gets spun around and stays on his feet. And it's finally brought down after a nice return.
That was a very nice job of running there by their big play receiver. And once again brought down by Jaquarius Smith, who is making his presence known on special teams tonight as well. And they're going to have great field position, 1st and 10 at the Dreadnought 45, as the Plant faithful is starting to exert themselves over there on the east sideline here at Bryant Stadium. They're going to go ahead, even though it's still 6:15 to go in the third quarter, they're going to go ahead and take the third quarter water break now. Tonight's game in the 2015 FHSAA Class 7A Football Championship is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership in more than 800 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. The Florida High School Athletic Association, building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship. The FHSAA is now on Facebook and Twitter. Go to facebook.com/FHSAA and become a fan. On the site, you can keep up with teams and people who strive to make the high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. That's facebook.com/FHSAA. Follow on Twitter at FHSAA. For instant news along with information on issues that affect Florida high schools, be a fan of it all. And Bright House Sports Network is the official television partner of the FHSAA. It is your home for your high school sports. For expanded coverage of high school athletics and highlights from your favorite high school teams, visit bhsn.com. And once again, we want to thank Bright House Networks for allowing us, even though they have the rights to these postseason games, allowing us to broadcast the game tonight. They certainly didn't have to do that, and we appreciate them being kind to us and working with us.
Well, someone spent a few greenbacks as the fireworks.
You know, I do have a theory, Tim, on what that could be. I have heard of a couple instances of wedding receptions taking place at the Magnolia Room there in Lake Mirror and having fireworks. So I'm wondering perhaps
that's an impressive wedding celebration. Someone got a nice little dowry there and is blowing it up in the night sky, if that's the case. It seemed to be over a few times, and they just keep lighting it back up again. There's the Dreadnought faithful here shouting, "Let's go Lakeland."
I've actually heard one of our sponsors, you know, here at Lakeland High School is Rada Construction, and I've heard that when one of the Rada daughters got married, that there was fireworks over Lake Mirror many years ago.
So the defense has played well tonight. Going to be called to do so again, 6:15. Panthers after the safety with a nice return as well on the kickoff. Starting at the 45-yard line of the Knots. Franzen, handoff number 6, who's starting to make his presence known. And there's a flag on the other side.
Plant having much more success in the third quarter, Tim, than at really any point in the first half running the football, although that time was aided by a holding penalty. So it's going to be first and long now for the Panthers. And although certainly Lakeland's been hit with a couple of key penalties, seems like the Panthers have actually been flagged more times than the Dreadnoughts tonight, which we don't see very often.
Particularly with the holding call. That's the third or fourth holding call we've seen tonight.
And perhaps they missed the most obvious one there in the first quarter when Matt Kramer was coming out to the quarterback on the pass play, and they clearly had him by his shoulder pads, and no call on that one.
So back on their side of the field at the penalty, first down and 20 or so. The quarterback just boogieing around and gets back a ton of yards, got back all the penalty yards and then a few.
So it's going to be 2nd and 8 now. Although I think that's actually, he got more than 12 yards. It's actually going to be 2nd and 7, so he got 13 yards on that play. He's a shifty runner there is Franzen, and able to break some tackles.
He's a tough kid, and number 13 is Mike just spotted it for us, is the new quarterback that's entering the ballgame.
That's the other quarterback who we said they do go to a 2-quarterback system some. That's Kyle Trina. They're actually similar size, so it's hard to tell them apart.
Kyle just hands off. He thought maybe he'd pass. There's a good defensive play.
Chad Barron helped make the tackle along with Avery Edward, Marquise Green as well.
Both teams, Jeff, trying to strip the ball tonight. You notice when they're stood up, I see that ripping motion by a lot of the defensive backs or whoever trying to dislodge that ball.
As you see now, 3rd and 8 as they stuffed Plant for a 1-yard loss of that play. I don't know if you can tell at home, but the Dreadnought fans are really into this game right now. They're making some noise for their defense.
Clock at 4:35 on this snap. Franzen back in, looking over the middle, and it's thrown behind him. He tried to throw a slant play. Tried to be a little too careful with that one. and well behind the intended receiver.
4th and 8 now, and Plant will send in their punter, the very talented Stephen Yaffe.
I know they're not going for a field goal from here. Yaffe's talented, but not quite that much leg.
That'd be a 60-yarder. No, a 64-yarder.
Yeah.
No? A 60-yarder, yeah. 60-yarder.
Trying to pin the Dreadnoughts deep. Good defensive stand for the Knots after the safety. 14-5 is holding. No, that's a beautiful punt. My word. Let that thing go. Get in the end zone. And it's not going to do it.
Wow, the 1 yard line.
Oh, boy.
Great punt there by Yaffe. He's really a weapon tonight. He made the 38-yard field goal to get the first points on the board for the Panthers, and just had a great punt there. They took a sideways hop as it landed on the 3 yard line. Is down at the 1 yard line.
Oh, wow. So we did get confirmation the Hawks won their game.
Final score, Vieira beat Martin County 47-17. So if Lakeland ends up winning, they'll travel to Vieira next week. But if Plant wins, the way the bracket procedures work, Plant will actually get to host Vieira next week. So I'm sure Vieira right now is probably rooting for Lakeland so they get a home game next week.
Well, if that's a wedding, that's one of the longest firework displays I've ever seen, much less for a wedding.
That can't be for a wedding. That's
can't be a wedding. As fireworks on the field here, we'd like to see Davis squirt out and break a big one.
Of the Jenkins family got married.
Yeah, it could be.
Here in Lakeland.
They'd be going for all weekend, I think. Decent run there, a few yards out to the 5. Good push by the offensive line.
Gives Lakeland a little room to operate here. Be 2nd and 6 from the 5 yard line.
Beautiful opportunity for a 95-yard scoring play here. Knott's had a couple big defensive stands, even with the safety there, holding on that. Another yard or two maybe, fighting to the 7. Forward progress.
Even if Lakeland could just get a couple first downs here and be able to punt the ball, you know, not from the end zone, hoping maybe they'll flip the field here if they get off another good punt like Shashawn Stewart had in the first half. But if they can't convert, they have to punt from their end zone. Plant will get great field position again, which really, they've had much better field position than Lakeland.
Oh, tremendous.
But when Lakeland scored their touchdown in the 3rd quarter, they did take the ball over the Plant 40. That was really the first time tonight that they've had good field position to start a drive.
They had 3 consecutive starting points at the 48-yard line there. Is nice blocking there. First down and then some for Davis. And a late flag. Oh, man. Davis wanted that one, but he wanted to get his foot free.
That face mask, maybe?
I'm hoping it came in late. I don't think it was a, face mask.
On the Panthers. And so that's going to be a 15-yard variety. This is a personal foul face mask. So that's going to definitely get Lakeland out from the shadow of the north end zone and Lakeland Regional Medical Center here at Bryant Stadium.
Beautiful run. Again, Davis was one of the ones he says, I'm not going down. Just keep hitting me, but I'm not going down. And he was 1 foot away from breaking it.
1st and 10 for the Dreadnoughts at the Panther, it looks like 33-yard line.
Maybe that was a good face mask by the Panthers to get him down, to stop his momentum there. Fresh set of downs just outside the 30. Bent back at the line of scrimmage, no gain there. 2nd down 10. Maybe a loss of a half yard.
Tim, I think it's time for a play action fake here and taking those shot downfield.
Clock ticking here in the 3rd quarter. By the time this ball snaps, we'll be near the 2-minute mark.
Contavious Isaac has single coverage out here, lined up wide right.
Hotchkiss under center. Hands off. A little bit of a seam, that's all he needs. Davis on the move, 45, Davis 50, still on his feet, 45, down near the 38-yard line. Davis with a huge run.
Great job by Davis at breaking that first tackle, then bouncing out wide right and getting all the way down to the 41-yard line in Plant territory. And Quantavious Isaac actually either had an okay block, but if he actually held the block better, I think Davis could have got more yardage and maybe even took it to the house.
Davis getting better as this game's going along, Jeff Goddard. Getting stronger. Offensive line making a good push as well.
I think Coach Farkas got his point across there at halftime.
Yeah, we've often seen that by the Knots as a quick burst handoff. I like the idea. You know what? Only one guy, number 56, was there to stop him. If he wasn't there.
Irvin Michael. So apparently Xavier Allen is not able to return the game, as it appears, as he's been replaced in the lineup by Irvin Michael, who's kind of the backup tailback and fullback.
But I tell you, if Joe Ryan, number 56, wouldn't have been there for the Panthers, Irvin Michael would have had a clear gap all the way up the middle because it surprised everyone else. Everyone else was looking to Davis. So that nearly worked.
Got 1 yard in the play. That's to be 2nd and 9.
Quantavius Isaac back in with Robinson and Young split out far side. 2nd down 9. A minute 10. Handoff Davis with a block. Davis squirting through. Nice little gain inside, let's say, 35 to 34 maybe.
So be 3rd and a very manageable 2 maybe. 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3. We'll see where they spot the ball exactly. So it's at the 34-yard line. I got to get to 32. So yeah, 3rd and I'll say it's really about 3rd and 2.5. So we got 3rd and 3 up on the screen, but it's a short 3.
At least we're able to flip that field advantage that the Panthers had for nearly a quarter there. So we're at the half-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. And a big jump and a 1st down Knox. What a great call. We've seen it so many times. The hard snap count, Hotchkiss does it to perfection.
So we don't even have to run the 3rd down play, and we get 1st down on the penalty offsides against the Plant defense. So now 1st and 10 for Lakeland.
You know, through the week, Jeff, you can coach your players on, hey, don't jump, but when you're in the heat of the moment and it's a big play like that and you want to get a jump on the ball, it's harder to not, when you hear that snap count, react to it if you're a defensive player. Big 5-yard penalty.
You know, Lakeland has not been in the red zone all night. Their 2 touchdowns have been from, 37 and 40 yards. But at the 29 now, so they're approaching the mid-state red zone.
Hotchkiss shotgun. Davis with the call. Nice skip move. Davis with a great, we'll take 7-8 yards every time.
Well, I think they're going to say he's down. They're going to say
down a little earlier.
So, well, still, 5 yards is nothing to cry about. He's got maybe 6, either 5 or 6. And that's going to be your last play of the 3rd quarter. The Panthers get a safety, but Lakeland gets a touchdown. So the lead is now 9 heading into 4th quarter. Lakeland 14, Plant 5. We'll take a commercial break and be back with you with the 4th quarter.
In my profession, we meet a lot of people who are going through a lot of losses and harms, and people who have lost loved ones, lost children, losing their house, losing their car, and it really wears on you sometimes. But I can tell you that it also drives you. It really pushes you to want to protect them. When we help clients, we can't always fix all their problems, but we do our very best to help them through their problems.
County High School juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 23rd annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
Welcome back to Bryant Stadium, Bill Castle Field. We hope you're enjoying this live webcast, Friday night under the lights, brought to you by Arroyo. We thank them for stepping up, for being our game sponsor tonight, and we thought it would be a good one, and it has been. What defensive performances we've seen. It's been a struggle for both offenses, and it's fun to see the defense is playing so well. Dreadnoughts defense picking up right where they left off last week, Jeff, and the last couple weeks. I don't know that it's not so much that the offense is playing poorly. I think it's just, again, a good defense that we're playing the best we've seen all season, like you said.
It hasn't been bad offensive play at all. It's just been great defensive play, really, by both teams, and specifically on Lakeland. It's been a complete effort. The defensive line, the linebackers, the secondary players from all three positional units stepping up to make big plays. Complete effort as they've kept Plant out of the end zone. And that really, Plant hasn't even really got close to the end zone yet. I think they barely got in the red zone once there. But Lakeland really, Coach Baldini brought their A game tonight, did the Dreadnought defense.
A nice drive shaping up for the Knott's offense. As Jeff alluded to earlier, we have not scored inside from the red zone. We've been 40 yards and out.
At this point, I would have to anticipate, Tim, is 4-down territory. I mean, a field goal would make it 12. Still, 2 touchdowns can beat it. I guess if you got past 12, then you couldn't lose on a field goal on a touchdown. So with Lakeland not having kicked too many field goals this year, I kind of think that we're in 4-down territory here, so we're going to try to punch it in.
Waiting for Bright House to give us the signal. They say go ahead, and back underway. Hotchkiss, man in motion, 4 yards deep. Nice fake. And Davis is just running that hard right now, and it's going to be a 3rd down and around 3 yards to go.
Yeah, maybe 2, 3rd and 2, I'll say. Once again, I think it's that 2.5, really, 3rd and we'll call it 3rd and 2.5. So last time we had that, we got their 1st down on the offsides by Plant.
Could they pull the same trick twice? Quintavious Isaac goes out. I like this matchup out here with Young on number 31. Let's see what they do. Right side. Davis, get there, Davis. He got it. 1st down. Nice push by the offensive line, just enough to give Davis some room.
Good job bouncing outside. Davis knowing he just needed a couple yards to the 1st down. And for the first time tonight, Tim, the Lakeland offense is in the mid-state.
Yeah.
Red zone.
It's a graphic that Mr. Barrett hasn't had to pull up in a while.
They're going to have to dust it off because they haven't had to use it all night. There you go, the Mid-State Machine and Fabricating Corporation Red Zone. Thanks to Jeff Klein and his company for being our sponsor for the Red Zone this year. Single coverage on Tariq Young out here.
Yeah, this looks good, and it's not their best cover man either. I formation, strong eye. Davis, though, getting the majority of the calls, just banging, and a late flag again.
That might be holding, though, from where it came on the field. Possibly another face mask. But I'm gonna
hard not to do a face mask
with, go with holding.
With that much.
Yeah, that's unfortunately correct. And just when we get the red zone graphic, we have to take it away.
Take it away.
Now out of the red zone.
Oh.
Mid-State Machine and Fabricating Corporation red zone.
It's like regifting.
Michael says we're going to keep it up anyways because we've gone the whole game without having it up. And so we got to make sure we give our props to Mid-State. So we're going to keep it up anyways. So hopefully we'll get back in the red zone here on this play right here as it's 1st and about 17 or so.
We're in the red zone in our mind, in our thoughts. Let's hope we get back there, as Jeff said.
1st and 19 on the screen.
I don't think timeout,
quite
Coach
that long.
Castle doesn't like. He's looking over, yelling to Hotchkiss, and he didn't quite get the signal. So Coach Castle's going to take a timeout. That'll give us an opportunity to give our sponsors some more time. 10-15, Dreadnoughts lead 14-5. We'll be right back after these messages. Play like a champion. That gets you fired up, doesn't it, when you see that? Knott's outfitted to the nines by Champion, and got to star in a couple little commercial spots there, as you've seen throughout the telecast or webcast. Dreadnoughts with the holding, still first down. Ball tucked inside the 25 at the 24. They can pick up the first down around the 5-yard line. As Holden Hotchkiss set in the shotgun formation. Holden drops back, looking. Holden fires, has a man, Robinson. Robinson caught! What an amazing catch! He had to make an adjustment at the last minute. Are you kidding me? Did you see Robinson move?
Down inside the 1-yard line.
Holy cow!
First and goal from the half-yard line.
Holy moly.
And we're officially back in the mid-state red zone now. It's a first and goal.
And a first down.
Inside the 1.
I thought for sure he wasn't going to catch that. He was out of position as the ball was about 6 yards from him. He had to throw his body the other direction completely.
It was a great adjustment by James Robinson. He kind of had to spin around and dive for the ball. And just a great job and a great catch by James Robinson as the ball is inside the 1-yard line.
Could be huge as the Dreadnoughts flag on the play.
Offsides, the line judge signals against Plant. So Lakeland will gain about 3 inches as it's half the distance to the goal. So it'll be a replay of first down, still first and goal for the Dreadnoughts.
Let's do the old groundhog, just repeat the quarterback keeper there. It's as close as you can get to not being in. The band's doing a good job tonight. It's like the battle of the bands. Both of them constantly playing and dancing and here we go. Well, the cannon went off before we even saw a signal, but we were pretty confident in that cannon burst. Touchdown
Maybe we're trying to influence the referee's decision.
So you got to give it to us when the cannon goes off.
Holden Hotchkiss on the quarterback sneak puts Lakeland up 20-5.
You can't even load the cannon again that quick if it doesn't count.
Holden's a pretty big kid, 6'3", 191. He's got a good frame there to successfully convert those quarterback sneaks.
Oh, McKenzie's been pure tonight on these extra points. He has put them through with some bit of authority. And a nice snap down and boom! Hits the camera tower right square on the front. I like it.
So it's still a 2-possession game though as Lakeland goes from the narrowest margin for a 2-possession game to the largest margin. It is now a 16-point lead. So Plant will have to get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie the game here with 9:27 to go in the fourth quarter.
Well, the part that was so efficient about that drive, Jeff, is it obviously resulted in points first and foremost, but got some time off the clock and gave the defense a rest.
First extended drive of the night for Lakeland after the first 2 touchdowns came on big plays. That's really been that's the drive of the game really right there. As A.J. Davis is starting to exert himself here in the second half. Had the 40-yard touchdown run in the third quarter. And had a long run on that drive. I think that was probably the biggest play of the drive. Give credit to the offensive line as they opened up some holes in the running game on that drive and gave Hotchkiss a chance to throw the ball there on that third down pass to Robinson.
Pooch lob, fair catch at the 35.
Actually, I think it was a second down pass, but the big pass play there, the drive, excellent pass protection for the Dreadnought offensive line.
Did you get that, Emmett? We're still using the old pooch lob.
I think that was Coach Castro saying, although we're going to give them decent field position at 35, we're not going to give them a chance to run back a kickoff and get a huge play there. I think that's a smart, kind of conservative decision there by Coach Castro.
Especially
risk adverse,
efficiently as your defense is.
As an investor, you know a little bit about risk adverse, don't you? So Franson's back in the game at quarterback.
Franson looking deep now, trying to go to the air, launches one over the middle, has a man wide open, caught, number 5. And he's not going to be caught. Touchdown. That didn't take a long time.
Wow, just like that. Number 5.
Yikes.
Michael Murphy.
M&M.
With the 65-yard touchdown for the Panthers. And just like that, the Panthers are back in the game. They're a 2-point conversion away from making this a 1-possession ball game.
Shazam. That was a decisive throw and catch perfectly on the run.
By
there was
far
no way.
the prettiest pass of the night by
either quarterback, probably. That was right on the number.
Quarterback for the Panthers. Huge play here by the Dreadnought defense. They can keep them out of the end zone and keep it a 10-point game or a 2-possession lead. That would be a huge outcome here for the Dreadnoughts on this key play.
Quarterback keeper. We had a man forced it back inside. He's not going to get it. Very nice job. Defense. That's huge.
Good job there by the Dreadnought front seven, getting the job done and keeping Franson out of the end zone, the 2-point try. So your score now at 9:14 to go in the fourth quarter, 21-11 Lakeland. But the big thing for Plant is they get 6 points in 12 seconds. So that's huge. When you're down, you got to get points quickly. And you know, something we kind of, I guess, almost forgot about, Tim, on that drive a while ago. That drive, Lakeland's drive, was a 99-yard drive. I just got a text from our good friend Keith Corney up in Tennessee reminding me that was the most important 99-yard drive of the year. And maybe the only one. I know we've had a couple of long ones. I'm not sure if we had any other ones that have been 99 yards. Maybe one other one. But Keith is right. Big drive there by the Dreadnoughts. But the Panthers are game, and they've answered it. And now it's 21-11. Although we did pick up 1 point of that exchange, up 10 now instead of 9.
Well, again, it's interesting to look back at field goal, safety. Really nothing as far as a good, exciting play to score. And then this completely flips the tables. And it was a beautiful pass.
As we're waiting for
Murray.
Plant to kick off, I want to give a quick shout out to my parents. I know they watch every week. Hope you're enjoying the game, Mom and Dad. And I think my Uncle Dick and Aunt Di are going to maybe be watching tonight, so hopefully they're enjoying the game as well.
We're just going to boot it away, and it's going to be non-returnable. I'd jump on it, though. It's live play, and that's not the best. What was Davis? Was it Davis that just left it there? Someone just tried to catch it and then just forgot about it.
I don't know why anybody even tried to catch it. Let the ball go in the end zone and take the ball to the 20-yard line. The last thing Lakeland needs to do is be starting another drive, inside the 5-yard line. Not a smart decision.
Mental mistake, no.
I'm not sure who that was, to be honest. It may have been Davis, but I'm not sure. But definitely not a smart decision.
That's big. I mean, you're inside your 5. You got the heavy package as Young and Robinson both check out. Still a lot of time in the ball game. 9:09 remaining. Quick handoff, Davis. Hold on to that ball, AJ. The thing was flailing a little bit there.
AJ
Scary.
gets 3, maybe 4 yards in that carry. So Lakeland will be faced with a daunting task of punting from their end zone if we're not able to get at least 1 first down here.
Take a repeat of the last drive. Oh, Davis got swashbuckled there at the line of scrimmage. Just got crunched.
Big 3rd down play coming up here for the Dreadnought offense.
I don't know. Young and Robinson check back in. Is Castle going to try go downfield with it? Kelvin Broom checks out. He was in for that stout package, as was Kramer and Green.
Under 8 minutes to go in the ball game here. Key 3rd and 6 for the Dreadnoughts.
Branson Brown back in at tight end. With that man-to-man coverage with a lot of room out there for Tariq Young. Hotchkiss under center. Throws it out to Tariq Young, and he goes to the outside. Tariq's got some room. Tariq down the sideline, gets pushed out of bounds. Did he stay in? He stayed in for a little while, got a few extra. No, he said he stepped out around the 28, but first down and some room to work with.
And Young's coming up a little bit lame there. Maybe it might just be a cramp or a Charlie horse. It looks like it's a cramp.
Fireworks start again.
More fireworks,
More fireworks
in downtown Lakeland.
Maybe they're just leftovers from years past. Nice play by Hotchkiss to get the ball into
He got the ball out
Young's
quickly,
hands
an
very
accurate
quick,
pass,
yeah.
and allowed Tariq Young to get some yards out to the catch. And Young very quickly turned upfield and was able to pick up a key first down.
Well, experience again by Tariq turning to the outside. He knew he had enough of a gap and some room there to work with as Young.
So he got about 20 yards or so on that play.
Young is still out. And they come to the left side, cut back a couple yards.
Big number 96, Bo Peak, making his presence felt again on that play.
Well, it's Allen fighting his way.
I guess you can't call him Little Bo Peak, can you?
No, you cannot do that. Someone's down for the Panthers, though, at the 25. Surprising again, Allen got that call. Irvin Michael seems to be healthy, but Allen heavily taped ankle and some pain, it seems like, but they still gave him the ball there. Injury timeout with 7:22 remaining in the ball game.
Got a few more things to read to you, courtesy of the FHSAA. The Florida High School Athletic Association recognizes its corporate partners who help make the FHSAA football championships possible. Champion, of course, is also a supporter of Lakeland High School. Team IP, the official merchandising company of the FHSAA. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, Is It In You? Pinch A Penny Pools, Patios, and Spas, the perfect people for a perfect pool. Sports Authority, your football authority. C2CSchools.com, the place for all of your game scores, stats, schedules, game directions, and more. Seeking Smiles Photography, the official photo company of the FHSAA. Ball4, the official supply of championship rings for the FHSAA. Bright House Sports Network, Channel 47 and HD 1147. Your home for high school sports. Bright House Sports Network, the official television partner of the FHSAA. And Spalding, provider of the official game ball for the 2015 FHSAA Football Championships, is number 56.
Joe Ryan.
For Plant Joe Ryan, makes his way off the field. Glad to see he's walking under his own power.
Dreadnoughts will get back to business on offense with 7:22 remaining. After the nice first down pitch and catch from Hotchkiss to Young. Young's being worked on the sideline a little bit. I don't know if he's just cramping or the left leg looks a little messed up, and pass to nobody. Hotchkiss fired it to the green turf monster.
Robinson cut in, and Hotchkiss was thinking he was going to cut out. Or you could say Robinson zinged and Hotchkiss zinged.
Now a third down. I forgot they already had one down in the series here on this.
Third and 10 here as they had no gain on that first down run by Allen.
Just over 7 minutes left. Hotchkiss under center, rolls back, drops back, and launches one. And Robinson nearly made an adjustment back on it. No penalties.
He did a good job of adjusting once again. Couldn't quite come up with the catch that time.
There was just an arm in between him and the ball, I think, from one of the Panther players. Otherwise, could have been a great catch again. Hotchkiss definitely having a little trouble throwing against the wind there. All of his balls have gotten caught up and have come down a little bit lame.
And even though Lakeland has to punt now, getting that one first down and getting out of the shadow of the end zone was huge. And it allowed you to run another minute and a half of clock as well.
Nice snap. High kick.
That's a nice punt. I'll take it.
Oh, that could have been a penalty again. You got to watch that. He's getting too close to the kicker. He did not give him enough.
Robert Madden there was really close to him, but he didn't touch him, so no flag. And it was a fair catch called by Plant, so they're going to take over at their own 41-yard line, down 10 with 6:53 to go. Speaking of Robert Madden, give a shout out to his uncle Steve and Aunt Amy and their kids Olivia and Owen out in Denver, Colorado. They watch most Friday nights. Your dad watching tonight, Tim, or see here?
He's home watching.
I think my brother Jason might be watching if you're watching. Hope you're enjoying the game.
Franson.
Oh,
Interesting kind of a little shovel draw.
It's almost like a reverse Statue of Liberty or something.
Where the running back just kind of stands there like he's going to block, and then the quarterback comes kind of from the side and just hands him the ball late. His horse gets called up by the Lakeland High School Dreadnought Marching Band. And Franson's got receivers all over, throws to the middle, back and dropped at the 49, 2 yards shy of a first down. Nice ball delivered by Franson, tight spiral.
That's the big tight end, Judge Culpepper, for that catch. Lakeland did a nice job at tackling that time, getting him down to the ground as soon as he caught the ball. Franson giving the play call to his teammates. His plan is in no huddle mode right now. It's 3rd and 2.
Clock running 5:49 in the ball game. Man in motion across the backside, goes out wide like he's going to sweep, and the Dreadnoughts hold. He does not get the first down. It'll be 4th down.
He needed 2, only got 1, so it's going to be 4th and probably a long one.
They'll go for it, though.
Oh, yeah, down 10 with 5:30 to go. Definitely 4-down territory for Plant. We're going to take the water break here in the fourth
that's a big
quarter.
advantage for the...
And we'll keep it here with you. Also want to give a shout out to Michael's mom and stepdad, Joe and Jackie Alvarez. They're watching. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And we actually, believe it or not, still have one more thing to read in terms of announcements from the FHSAA. We didn't get any in the first half, so we'll do them all here in the second half tonight. Football fans, the best games are yet to be played. Make plans to attend the 2015 Florida High School Football State Championships presented by Champion, hosted by the Central Florida Sports Commission, City of Orlando, and Edgewater High School. The intent to action takes place at the Citrus Bowl in Orlando with championship games on December 4th and 5th, and also the following weekend on December 11th and 12th. Admission to each game is $12. Come out and watch the best in Florida high school football. Play. Visit the FHSAA website at fhsaa.org for more information. For the latest official news about the Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds in the 2015 FHSAA Football Championships, visit fhsaa.org, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.org. Watch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.fhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of Florida High School Athletics. That's a mouthful,
Check.
Tim Connie.
You got it done.
We finally finished.
Nice job. That's hard to read on that little screen you got there, but you got it done and obligation met.
Play the game right here as Plant has a 4th and 1 right almost at midfield. We're going to say it's 4th and maybe just over a yard for Plant. This water break came at a good time for Plant.
Yeah, that was a nice.
To get a free timeout.
Nice call.
On a 4th down play looming.
It's just at that point, Jeff, it's not quite short enough to do the traditional quarterback sneak. So, I mean, you could, but it'd be risky.
If I'm Coach Wiener here, Tim, let's think about this. You're down 2 scores. There's only 5:27 to go. Lakeland's probably, preparing for, the quarterback sneak or the power run to try to get his first down. If you're Plant, why not roll the dice, play action fake?
Yeah, you could.
Try to hit a pass play, maybe get a big play here and get another quick touchdown. Let's see what they decide to do.
They could do a hard snap count. 4th and 1. Dreadnought defense sets, ball snap, roll out, just like you said. Looks like good coverage, and it's going to be, Torian Hampton had a near pickoff. Stepped in front of the wide receiver, and oh my goodness, Torian.
And actually probably worked okay. He wasn't going to score. There's a lot of
4th down,
there.
that's fine.
And it's 4th down, so he may have actually gained a few yards by dropping it. But Torian, though, will tell you he should have caught it. He'll have nightmares about that tonight.
Well, he wants, again, that run, catch, and dream for a defensive player to scamper down the sideline and put this ball game away. But still a huge play. Dreadnoughts take over on offense.
He's one of the players we're considering interviewing after the game. We'll definitely have to ask him about that play if we end up interviewing him.
Yeah, please. I'd like to hear. But as you said, it really would have been a crusher if that was like second down or something. But on a fourth down where we turn over on downs, not that big of a deal. Sloan set back. Davis is trying to take some time off the clock. Davis gets spun around, and he's going to lose a bunch of yards. Just go down, AJ.
That's hurting his stat line.
Yeah,
he loses 9 or 10 yards. So actually, they say he only lost 8. They're going to mark it down at more than 42. So it'll be second down and 18, it looks like. So really the big play that last drive was actually the third down play where they stuffed him. Great job by the Dreadnought defensive line. They got a great push against the Plant offensive line.
Four and a half minutes remaining in the ball game. 10-point lead by the home team. 2 wide receivers split out, and Davis, nice fake play action, caught by Branson Brown. Hold on to that ball, Branson. He just dives forward and picks up a good host of yards. Nice job, young man.
I thought they really should have him down to 45. The refs are going to mark it at 46 now, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 6 after the 12-yard completion of Branson Brown. So nice play there by the Lakeland offense and a great play call by Coach Castle.
Yeah, good hands too, and picks up a bunch. Back now in a manageable 3rd down and 6. In Panther territory. Under 4 minutes. We go. Still potentially waiting on that big play from number 3, and the whole Panther team jumps, and now it'll be a 3rd and 1. And possibly a quarterback sneak away from a fresh set of downs.
Bo Peak tried to get a little peep there, and he got flagged for it. Now it's going to be 3rd and 1. I tell you, I think Holden Hotchkiss might be the best quarterback of that in the county, of the state. He's great at inducing the offsides and the hard snap counts. I wonder if he practices that at all.
Oh, absolutely. Sits in front of the mirror.
In his bed at night.
I got him. I got him that time. Yeah, you know you're doing good if the reflection jumps in the mirror.
Coach Castle just did a sprint down the sideline.
It was a nice looking run. I saw it.
Trying to get the attention of the referee to call a timeout. Obviously, he saw something there he didn't like, and they want to make sure they convert this 3rd down play, because if you can convert this, then not only are you still trying to maybe get points, but more than that, you just need to run the clock out. Get maybe 2 more first downs, you can pretty much kill the clock. So being able to convert this is huge. And if they don't convert this, I would imagine they go for on 4th and like less than a yard.
If they don't lose yardage, I would think so.
Because even, I mean, yeah, maybe you get them punt and you get them inside the 20, but you know, if you get another first down, then you can run off another minute and a half, 2 minutes, or you force them to burn the rest of the timeouts, which I know they've at least used 1 timeout so far this half. I think they have 2 left. There's a huge play for the Dreadnoughts here.
I've been holding my tongue, but I have a couple friendly wagers on this ball game tonight.
Are we allowed to talk about that on the webcast? As long as they're friendly, I guess it's okay.
They're friendly, and they're not really of monetary value.
You have friends associated with Plant?
Yes, we do. Have my good friend and client, Mark Dillon, whose children all went to Plant. And he called me and said, I know you're not a betting man earlier. He said, but let's throw lunch on the line. And I said, absolutely. As Davis gets the first down and wanted more. That was a nice stop. Usually on that one.
Made a huge tackle there that's Pat Cooper. If he doesn't make that tackle, I think Davis busted and takes it all the way to the end zone for a clinching touchdown.
Hey, we've talked about that, Jeff. A lot of times when you're just expecting to get 1 yard, you catch the defense off a little bit. Once you get through the defensive line, oftentimes you can get a lot more yards.
And he would have there if not for that ankle tackle by Pat Cooper. Give him credit.
He wanted it. Irvin Michael, inside, and whoa boy. Davis.
Tackle from behind there, this time by number 3 of Plant, Thomas Allen.
That was not pretty the way Davis fell. He's up, but man, oh man.
Plant calls timeout as they're now forced to stop the clock. So we'll take a commercial break and be back with you with Lakeland up 10, 2:58 to go.
It's our tailgate clearance at Regal Lakeland, Central Florida's largest used car dealer. Go to RegalLakeland.com to see all our vehicles, all at wholesale prices. Over 500 vehicles, all makes, including our pre-auction units. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on all Regal certified vehicles. If you just want to sell your car, we're the #1 Kelley Blue Book dealer. Credit specialist on site for any situation. All confidential. Only at the 2 locations of Regal Lakeland, your family store.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, just over 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. Look to add a little time on the clock or something there while we were gone. The Plant Panthers coming over from Tampa. I do some work with a Pilot Bank over there, a bank. I'm the advisor and financial advisor for some of their clients and customers. And
which bank is that?
I get to pass a Pilot Bank. They also have a branch here in Lakeland, but many around Tampa. So I get to pass Plant High School every time I go to one of the branches. And
nice.
Fine school as quick pop handoff to Irvin Michael. Good to have a fresh set of legs in there, but only a few yards on that carry.
3rd and long now.
Timeout called. Panthers trying to stop the clock.
And this should be their last timeout, because I'm pretty sure they used one in the 3rd quarter. So I definitely expect Lakeland to run the ball here to make sure that the clock will keep on running. You don't want to risk an incomplete pass. So if Plant stops us here, and we were forced to get the ball back to him, they'll have maybe a little bit over 2 minutes to go as long as we keep the clock running after this 3rd down play. Now once again, we're inside the 40 and not be surprised at all to see Lakeland go for it on 4th down. We'll have to see, how much they have to go if they don't convert it here on 3rd down. But I mean, there's a good chance if you punt it, you could punt in the end zone. But obviously, if you get inside the 10, that would be awesome. It'd be great too. But I'd say if it's less than 3 or 4, I think Castle will go for it. We'll have to see what happens there. But hopefully, maybe there won't be a 4th down if we can get 8 yards here and convert this 3rd down.
Robinson and Young will be on the near side. Isaac and Davis on the far side. Split double receivers, and Irvin Michael, the lone set back on a 3rd down and 8. 2:59 remaining. Tossed to Young, who follows a blocker, and Young's got some space and gets a 1st down. Great effort of keeping his feet, Tariq Young.
I was just thinking, maybe they will pass the ball and just do one of those wide receiver screens where, very, very high probability you want an incomplete pass, and it's exactly what Coach Castle did. And great play call by Coach Castle. Most likely, if you run the ball, they're probably going to stuff it. So he decides to go to the air, and they're able to complete a safe pass there and get the 1st down. Great job. Although he went out of bounds, you can live with that since he got the 1st down. Now we get 3 more downs, and they have no timeouts left.
Obviously, don't want to stop the clock, but I don't know how he kept his balance, Jeff. After he caught it, he looked like he was on 1 foot, ready to wobble over and almost use the back of one of his players to kind of get his body righted and then headed down the sidelines. Like you said, out of bounds, but no big deal. 1st down at the 26. Davis with 3 yards, but at this point, 3 yards is perfect and let the clock run.
I can pretty much guarantee you there'll be no more passes thrown by Hotchkiss tonight.
Take 3 yards every down right now.
I mean, I would almost be tempted to start taking kneel down just to make sure you don't fumble the ball.
You're close. You're close to that. Yeah, I'd say maybe one more play and you can start kneeling down.
I would start kneeling down. Now, I would not want to risk, a fumble. If you're only up, 1 score, maybe not, but up 2 scores, especially, I think I would do that.
2nd down, 7. Handoff, Davis. Davis carrying a load. Hold on, look at Davis go. I mean, bowling his way, goes out of bounds, stops the clock, but gets another first down. Yeah. He's gotten stronger as this game's gone along. And of course, the offensive line helped.
Credit too.
They've all gotten stronger together.
Of course, with Emily Dunson out here tonight, I'm going to be heading down to the field here in a few minutes to do the post-game interviews.
Should be some good ones, Mr. Goddard.
I think instead of doing, on a while ago, off air, I told you I was thinking about doing 2 defensive players. I think I'm going to do 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player. So I think I'm going to try to line up James Robinson for offense and Torian Hapman for defense.
I like it. I like both of those. 2 minutes on the button here, and it looks like the Knots, if they can hold on to the ball. Davis shifting around, just fall down there. AJ, beautiful. Again, we'll take it, and looks like now we could probably start talking about taking a knee.
You know, Tim, my thoughts on this game are, this is kind of, although we finally did see a big passing play there in the 4th quarter, Plant scored the only touchdown of the game. It's kind of one of those things, you know, Plant, when you lose your starting quarterback, your senior, in July, you have him out the whole year. You obviously have a very good program, so you still have a successful year. It kind of probably caps you out really how far you can go. And I'm not saying they would have beat us or beat Lakeland if, you know, Cole Pepper hadn't got hurt. But, yeah, I think that's kind of what you're seeing here a little bit. That kind of maybe capped them out as to what they could really do. And the stronger team is going to walk away with their win tonight. That's, you know, Lakeland High School. A hard-fought, well-deserved, 10-point win here at Bryant Stadium. Unless, of course, we punch in the end zone here, but most likely it looks like your final score is going to be 21-11.
Davis tried to put on the brakes, but still fell out of bounds.
Head down to the field here,
yeah,
Tim,
go ahead. Will I see you again? Will you come back, or are you just going to hang out on the field?
We'll see if I can make it up here.
If not, we'll just close it out. We may see you down on the field. Thanks, Jeff. Jeff's going to go down and do some inside work there down in the field and getting some great interviews to wrap it up. Minute and 5 left. Holden Hodgkiss, remember, just a junior with a late penalty we didn't see, pushing it personal foul all the way back to the 25. Really inconsequential at this point. The clock is much more what we're looking at. A lot of people believe that this was the game that could catapult you, as we've seen in a few seasons. You get past this second tough regional semifinal, and not that we have any idea of what the caliber of the team is next week that we're going to be playing. The idea is that you should be able to get through that next round and start setting your sights on a prize. Under a minute to go. Now it's just the kind of tight formation. Davis kind of gets hit and flipped around. Takes a good shot to the thigh pad, but it's fine, but the clock keeps running. We might have to do one more play, and it could be just a kneel down, and we're good. As you might expect, again, Plant has a lot of following. We talked about Tony Dungy and Brad Culpepper, but one of the stars in the Tampa Bay area, we believe, Derek Brooks, is over on the sideline as the Dreadnoughts, with 1 tick and now 0, will celebrate this regional semifinal win over a very tough Plant Panther team. 21-11, the final score, as they'll come to midfield and meet. Mark Dillon, I get lunch. I get to decide where I want to go. Burns Steakhouse sounds pretty good. I just got confirmation from the crew that they'd like to join us at Burns as well. I'm getting some suggestions up here. We might make them open for lunch, or we could just have a really late lunch or early dinner. What a nice game. Good game all around. Fantastic defensive plays. We saw the offense come alive there for the Dreadnoughts. Saw a flash of brilliance on a beautiful catch from Michael Murray on the sidelines to make it interesting, rather, down the middle of the field for the Panthers, which tightened things up a bit. But ultimately, the defense was just too much for just about anyone in the last 3 weeks. They'll tell you that just can't crack that nut if you're the offense. The defense is playing that well. Jeff said he's going to look for a offense and defensive interview. Possibly Torian Hampton on defense and Mr. Touchdown James Robinson. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if you can catch it on camera as we look at them congratulating each other, and certainly a good season for the Panthers. 2 losses, again, one kind of the first game playing an out-of-state team and then coming back and losing to a tough Armwood team. And now the Dreadnoughts here for their 3rd loss of their season. But a size difference is notable when they're side by side like that. Maybe just one of those fashion statements, guys, that black makes you look thinner or smaller. No, I think it's just that the Panthers have eaten a few more steaks. Band and the Anchorettes celebrating in the north end zone. Enjoyed the Plant Band tonight. They were jamming almost all night long. It's a good comment I got from one of our viewers that Vieira actually played Kathleen this season and lost 25-29. So just an interesting tidbit for you there on next week's opponent. As the Dreadnoughts and Panthers together at midfield for a quick little blessing. George Williams in the mix as usual, leading the charge. I can see there too, obviously, the hearing impaired aid that we have for one of our players. That's awesome to see that she's out there kind of traveling right there, so nothing is lost. A lot to be thankful for, right? Thanksgiving week coming up. Good time to count our blessings and say thank you to all of the loved ones in our lives, and blessing to the good Lord above for allowing us to be in a free country and enjoy Friday night high school football. Welcome officially to the post-game show sponsored by our own Barrett Creative. Michael Barrett and his team. I think you can get a hint, certainly, of the quality that Mr. Barrett puts forth in all he does. Minus the announcers, of course. Good to have our friends up here from Plant, as everyone's packing their equipment away, and the camera people. Now that some of the formalities have taken place down on the field, I know Coach Castle likes to talk to his team and wrap things up before he officially kind of lets them go. And then once that happens, Mr. Jeffrey Goddard, our fantastic on the scene. He just doesn't look quite as good as Emily. I'm sorry. He's a handsome guy, but just doesn't quite bring that same charm that Miss Dunson does. Coach Castle in the mix. Thanks again to one of our game sponsors, Arroyo, one of the fine businesses. Thanks to them, as well as our press box sponsors, the North Hooters and Strawberry Hut. Of course, Agnini Family Dental, pregame show. Harry's Seafood halftime show. Champion for all the fine support. Michael, you do have me down for one of those hats, right? They put some nice looking gear out. All right, just want to make sure. As we'll await the signal for. It's like where's Waldo with Jeff, you know what? He's harder to find than a. I'm not going to say it. I had something on my mind, but I'm going to hold my tongue. He's big in presence and small in stature. But Jeff does a lot, certainly, for the program as well. Helps Michael get together some stats and information on the keys to the game. And I see Jeff getting ready. He's positioning himself between two large players. Jeff Goddard, take it away down on the field.
All right, we're on the field here with Torian Hampton and James Robinson. James, congratulations on the victory. On that first drive, you had 3 catches for 90 yards, including a touchdown. Talk a little bit about those catches and how important it was to get the Dreadnoughts off to a good start tonight.
I mean, with those catches, I mean, that set the tempo. After that, we just rolling. We had a couple mistakes, but it's all right.
So on a couple of your catches, including that first touchdown, the big catch there in the second half down by the goal line, you had to make great adjustments with your body, especially that catch there in the fourth quarter. Talk a little bit about how hard that was to get your body turned around and make those catches.
I mean, when I came back to the ball, I really thought it was too short, but I dove out. Remember what Coach taught me to do, made the catch.
What did he teach you to do?
Keep eyes on the ball. Keep eyes on the ball.
So next week you guys have to go on the road over to Melbourne. What do you think about your first road playoff game this year?
I mean, last year we lost on the road. We ain't losing on the road this year.
All right, thank you for joining us tonight, James. I appreciate it. And now turning my attention to strong safety Torian Hampton. You had a great game tonight. On the webcast, at one point we said it looks like there's 2 number 8s out there. Talk to me about the overall your performance tonight in the game.
Well, I just gave it my all, man. I just made my team put my team on my back and play the best I can. Every play I gave.
Now talk about what a good job Coach Boldini does preparing you guys. It seemed like you guys were always in position tonight, ready to make a play.
He's on us every day at practice, all the time. Even in school, he giving us plays to go through in lunch. He stays on us all day, working us all practice.
Now I have to ask you, Torian, you had a great game tonight, but you let an interception fall through your hands. Are you going to have bad dreams about that all week?
Yeah, that hurt me. I got to get me one.
All right. One last question for you. What will it be next week like? How different will it be with no school, having to practice? Obviously, you normally have a schedule. You go to school, you practice in the afternoon. How different will it be next week in terms of keeping your concentration, preparing for Vieira?
It won't be none different. We hungry. We hungry. We ready for the state title. We hungry. None different.
So you guys will have a good week of practice this week.
Good practice. Even better than the last week.
Very good. Thank you for joining me tonight, Torian. Great game. Congratulations. And we'll be back in a few minutes with Coach Bill Castle.
Back up here in the press box. Boy, there's some good-looking uniforms. And someone get Jeff a soapbox he can stand on so he doesn't have to reach that microphone up to their mouths. But some interesting insight from Robinson and Hampton. And what an incredible game by Torian Hampton. I think he played one of the best by far. And he said, of course, he wants to get one of those interceptions. We'd like to see a pick 6. Still awaiting that. But overall, just flying around the field all over the place tonight and a fantastic performance. And Jeff left it up to me to kind of give the players of the game. And to me, again, a lot of deserving players. I think we could give it out to several folks. Certainly, let's go ahead and start with the defense. I cannot deny the interview you just saw and the fine performance all around from beginning to end. There were several people that stepped up, but your defensive player of the game is Torian Hampton, number 8, who just played incredible. I mean, he sacrificed his body at one play earlier and just rammed a guy head to head helmet, 6'3", 195-pound defensive back. As you see, Torian just flew around the field tonight, and certainly we think he had a couple of clones out there, and a couple number 8s were on the field representing, but he did a fantastic job. So Torian, the well-deserved defensive player of the game. And I think on offense, let's make it easy and just go with the 2 interviews tonight. James Robinson, who made that impact and made his presence felt early, but continued on and participated, in the defensive side of the ball as well. James on critical plays defense, but that drive to open things off really, as he said, set the tone. He said we had to come out and set the tone, and I think that was invaluable to put points on the board early on and make a statement. The defense, of course, all throughout, played an incredible game. You have to give almost the kind of the honorable mention to the entire defensive squad. And then the offensive line came alive. And the Hogs, or Beefaloes as we affectionately used to call them, in the second half, and really opened some holes. You saw the difference with a little bit of room, just tiny bit of room. A.J. Davis can make a lot of magic happen, and that's what he was able to do tonight as well. Special teams, tough call, but I think I'm going to give it to someone that we've given a hard time to the last week or so, and had a tough punting time. But we'll come back for that special teams because we have a special treat for you. Jeff Goddard with Coach Bill Castle.
We're now being joined by victorious head coach Bill Castle. Congratulations, Coach, on the win tonight. I know these playoff wins never get old, do they?
No, not at all, and especially a win tonight over Plant. They got us the last 2 times was in the playoffs. So, our kids, you got to be proud of them. The effort that we got tonight was tremendous. We had great team effort, and everybody just playing on the same page. And I was really proud of our defense. Our defense did a tremendous job. We gave up the 1 long pass play, broke our coverage on that play. They slipped it back out of the backfield, went down the middle on us. But other than that, our defense played tough all night long. And offense, that's just the way we are this year. It seems like, Holden's not a running quarterback, so, we run the ball, and our big plays are coming out of our passing game. But our offensive line, the second half, they stepped it up and made some holes in there for A.J., and he made some yards. So just really proud of the effort and glad to be moving on.
Well, it seemed like with how strong and fundamentally sound the Plant defense was, they were going to have to maybe get some big plays to get some points, and we had several big plays in the passing game, and A.J. finally ripped off that 40-yard touchdown. How important was it to get some big plays by the offense tonight?
It was hard to move the ball on. Their defense is really, really good. But I give credit to our offensive line. We didn't have a good first half, but they came back and really played tough second half. And AJ, Tariq, they made some nice plays for us to keep the chains moving a little bit. And AJ, did a nice job running again.
Of course, on defense, we interviewed Torian Hampton. He had a great game. But also, I thought Jaquarius Smith maybe had his best game of the year. And Kelvin Broom and Danquarius Longs get maybe a little bit more attention. But talk about how well Jaquarius played for the defense tonight.
He did a great job. I mean, he did his role, and he stepped up big. And but Torian Hampton, he had an exceptional game in the secondary, making some good tackles at the line of scrimmage and breaking up some nice passes for us.
So let's talk real quickly about Vieira. Vieira won tonight, so we'll be going on the road next week to Melbourne to play Vieira. What do you know about Vieira?
I don't know a thing about Vieira. I've never heard of Vieira hardly, but obviously they got a good team. They won big tonight. I heard 47 to something, and so they don't get any easier as you go up, and especially when you get to the third round. It's going to get harder as we go.
That will be for tomorrow. You start learning about Vieira. So what about this week being Thanksgiving break? How does that change preparations with the players? We practice in the morning some this week with no school?
Yeah, we'll go out in the morning and practice 8:30 in the morning, and so we'll start Monday in our preparation. The players, the coaches work all weekend though.
Well, congratulations again, Coach, on the big win, and good luck next Friday night in Melbourne.
Thanks, Jeff. That was a comprehensive interview from Jeff Goddard and Coach Bill Castle. That was a fine job. Learned a lot. Coach, to summarize that a little bit, said that Plant has kind of gotten the better of us, obviously, in the playoffs, and so this was a big win. Not to necessarily get revenge, but just for the players to get one on Plant. And except for that one long pass play, Coach Castle said his defense was completely solid, as we've alluded to all night long, and some indication of that would be our stats. So let's go ahead and look at our game stats tonight as Barrett Creative brings them up. Team statistics, as you see the score, of course, led Lakeland 21, Plant 11. First down's pretty close, not that far off. 13 for the Knots, 10 for the Panthers. Rushing yards, not a big surprise. We had a tough go of it, particularly early on, except for that 40-yard burst by Davis. Really had a struggle. 165 yards actually outgained by the Panthers. The difference is in the passing yards, though, 160 to 91. So total yards very close. We expected this fairly even matchup. We said that they were kind of a mirror image, so to speak, of Knots if you could have one. And that's what we saw on both sides of the ball. So really, turnovers, although we didn't make the most of the turnovers, they came at some critical moments, maybe stopping some momentum for the Panthers. And those penalty yards virtually even as well. Very unusual for now, a couple weeks in a row for the Knots, maybe something they've been working on, to be under the penalty yards from the opposing team, and certainly Michael Barrett under 100 yards. We always talk about that for the Knots, and it seems like we kind of get picked on a little bit, but interesting statistics there. I think the Knots certainly on a couple of those big pass plays had it over the Panthers a little bit, and here at home we certainly at the beginning kind of gave the edge, and then the 12th man, so to speak, or the Knot fans certainly came to cheer on their fans and got loud at the right times and kept the spirit and the energy up here at Bryant Stadium. So fantastic job overall. Was that Michael? Okay, let's go ahead and do the crew and just the quick graphics for the crew. As you can see right there, the tremendous technical support that we have by our own Bob Parrish, the technical engineer, Corbin Weeks, the graphics operator, and of course Evan Thomas on Cam 3 and tech assistants, and fabulous camera operators. Camera 1, Sean Anderson. Camera 2, our own John Davis, who pigged out tonight, by the way, John. You had one too many. I saw you. I know. I saw you down there. 2 or 3 plates. We went back, and camera 3, Ryan Reese. And also, of course, for Jeff Goddard. I don't know if Jeff was going to try to make it back up. Probably not. But for Jeff Goddard, Tim Conti, of course, your web announcers for the webcast. Obviously, probably not going to be traveling next week to Melbourne. So don't know if we're going to be back here at Bryant Stadium. Possibly, it could be the case, but we feel blessed and fortunate to have been able to bring you this tonight. And Michael Barrett, I know you didn't put your stat up there. You and Jeff, again, do a lot to basically be the directors of the show here. And it's our pleasure, my pleasure, to work with you and call you a friend as well. So thanks for all you do, and greatly appreciated. So Michael just whispered in my ear that we will be at some aspect on the road next week, unless Bright House is doing the game, and that may be a little of something to work out there. So we'll keep you informed. You can always go to the Lakeland website, lakelandfootball.com, and Jeff will probably put up some, Michael put up some news for you there throughout the week and tell you a little bit about what's happening in the upcoming contest. It'll be after Thanksgiving, so y'all have to work off some extra turkey and what's that extra drug that's in the turkey that puts you to sleep. So we want all the Dreadnoughts ready for the game next Friday. And what a great dessert for the Thanksgiving. And with that, we'd like to certainly wish everyone a safe and happy Thanksgiving with their families, and truly take that time to say thanks and enjoy that time with the ones that you love. And Dreadnoughts victorious tonight here in the second round of the FHSAA Class 7A playoffs. 21-11 is your final score, and the Dreadnoughts move on to Melbourne. So with that, let's go ahead and close this one out. Friday night under the lights, the Dreadnoughts victorious again, 21-11. And goodbye for Jeff Goddard and Tim Conti. And everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving. God bless and good night.